I didn't want to do this show today.
Why is that?
The inevitable has become inevitable.
Time the show improves. Is what you're saying?
I gotta be a man that makes good on his word. And
I just want to say the text conversation reminds me a lot of Eminem and 8 Mile, where you're just Sunday you are just talking so much shit, just going off, and then Monday you're frozen on stage, just staring at the guy with the microphone in your face, going, oh.
Boom, 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 boom. But wait till I come back, because then I'll go, hey, yo, Drew, you look like you could not have a clue. Oh, everybody goes crazy. I don't know the lyrics verbatim. I know some people do. I don't, even though I have it on DVD. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a post-WrestleMania edition of the No Pyro podcast. We are live and direct, coming to you on our normal days. We record on a Tuesday. Hopefully you hear it on Tuesday. If not, you got a couple of days to digest the pain, the suffering, the agony, the glory, the ups and downs. It's like a movie. It's like a play that we've all experienced over the past couple of days. Of course, the crescendo being Monday Night Raw. We'll talk about that later. My name is Total Mac, a.k.a. TVD Mac, a.k.a. Sick Flair, a.k.a. Metro Mac. In the building, as always, with my boy Swervy Lee, a.k.a. SVS Swerve, a.k.a. Swervy Atmos, a.k.a. Swollen Pal, a.k.a. Yoko Tuna, a.k.a. How you doing?
Man, I am doing all right. Not doing bad. Could be doing better if I had more cheddar. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good, Drew.
As you could probably hear, someone's doing the lawn today at, almost 5 p.m. They waited to do this.
Like I said, man, the weather, look, the sun, the heat is not bad on the bones today. Past couple of days, yeah, it kind of has been. But today it's been kind of decent out.
I mean, we literally just talked to the pre-show, and I said, the pause shouldn't be bad, but it's always something, right?
Well, they heard the horns, bro. That's when they decided it was time. That's all. Joining us as always, our guy, the anchor, No Chill Drew, a.k.a. EGB, a.k.a. the OG, a.k.a.
My fucking dumbass got a can on purpose for this fucking podcast. And as soon as I dialed you guys up, I fucking opened it. And as I looked down as you were introducing Swerve, I'm like, what the fuck did I do?
All right. Is it a Mountain Dew?
Yeah, it's Mountain Dew. I mean,
all right.
You know what it was, Drew? It was, you blamed it all on your cat today. The cat threw you off, man.
Yeah, that's what it was, yeah.
It really did.
How are you doing, man?
I'm alive. For better or worse, I'm alive. I'm on the hunt for a PS5 or Xbox Series X. The hunt's not going great. I got my Suicide Squad chip implanted on Saturday, and that fucked me up all WrestleMania weekend long.
Oh my gosh! Which one did you get?
Really?
Did you get the security? Did you get the J&J security?
Oh yeah, no, I got the one that definitely was recalled right after they put that shit in my body.
Oh, okay. You got the Vince McModerna.
No, I got the J&J.
You're the first person I heard said it actually admitted that it messed them up, though. Everybody else is like, "Oh, my arm's just sore. That's really it."
No, that shit fucking okay. So right after, I was fine. I was fine right after. I even made plans, everything. At night, though, wow, around 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, I got the chills. My arm fucking burned. I got fatigued. I was like, yo, I'm gonna fucking die.
All familiar. That's what happened to me when I took the flu shot many years ago when it was free. I said, I'm not doing this again. You will not ruin another weekend of mine.
Yeah, I mean, if they're like, "Oh, you guys got to get a COVID shot again," you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you. I don't care. I got mine. You know, tough it out.
Yeah. Hmm.
Because here's the thing: if I got it once, let's burn through this motherfucker. Okay. You know, if you're gonna sit there and go, well, you still go where you're. Listen, I'm about to go into Target, fucking raw dog. Okay. Balls deep in the face. No cover, nothing, because fuck, I'm vaccinated. And if I can't do that, what the fuck's the point?
Well, yeah, you can catch it if you do get vaccinated. But
Then what the fuck is the point of getting vaccinated? You still catch it.
I believe the symptoms are less debilitating.
Okay, Gucci. I got a cold for a little bit. I cough a little bit. Get the fuck out of here.
Yes, it's just like the flu and the common cold. I mean, it
Yeah,
ain't going away.
This definitely will become one of those yearly things that you need to get.
Yeah, they can suck my dick. They can honestly suck my dick. I'll put a wig on it.
COVID on the tip.
They can fucking do that shit, okay?
Yo, hey, Drew ain't have this much heat for that lady in that van, man. Damn.
Like, seriously, that shit fucked me up. And if they're like, well, you should get it every year, you could literally, I'm not even joking. If you're gonna sit there and tell me I need to get it every year, you can lick me right pee.
Listen, Mac, I know exactly how he feels because I went through this exact same thing. Cost me a date and everything.
Listen, I got one so far. I got one, so I'm Shane McModerna. I ended up getting that one. And the very first night, I was itching like crazy. So you would have thought, it was Bed Bug City in here.
No, they gave you something else, man. They gave you that stuff Smokey had on Friday.
Yeah,
they give you that underpass that overpass vaccine. The one that I see all the junkies taking.
Everyone keeps saying, hey, man, word to the wise, stay hydrated. Make sure you
No, I was hydrated. I took like 3 bottles of water. I was even drinking, Pedialyte.
Mountain Dew.
Is it Pedialyte or Pediasure?
Pedialyte.
Which one is the one you're supposed to have?
Pedialyte.
I was doing Pedialyte.
Yeah, that's what you.
Pediasure is like a formula.
Yeah, Pedialyte is. You got a day of day drinking, afternoon drinking, and night drinking, and you're not trying to get too messed up. You take the Pedialyte.
Okay, as long as it wasn't Pedialine.
I mean, shit, it might as well be a stick like it, purple. Some people still get messed up after they down the whole bottle of it. After crazy.
Yeah, I seriously, after that shit, I don't want to fucking hear. I heard from my mommy and me group that it could be bad for the kiddies if they go back to school without getting a vaccination every year. So we should get vaccinated every year. I don't give a fuck. All right, that's tough titties.
You gotta stay on Facebook, Drew.
Hey, listen, I got fucking heat for whoever the fuck wants to do that shit again.
Well, you're scaring me, man, because I haven't had my part 2 yet.
Hey, listen, I don't know how your symptoms are going to be. All I know is mine got recalled. So,
like part 1 is going to be Rhea versus Asuka at Mania, and then part 2 is going to be even worse, which is Asuka.
Tag team turmoil.
Oh, well,
I don't understand why this shot is broken up into Snyder cuts anyway.
Well, I mean, one is more, how can I put this? More original, more, that's not the word I'm looking for. Eccentric, maybe. It's raw, gets to the core. I don't even know if the shit works.
Let's put it this way. I worked at a pharmaceuticals company for a little bit. It normally takes about 3 to 5 years to develop a vaccine. So the fact that they pushed this shit out in under a year.
Talk to Dr. Drew.
It really kind of tells me that the reason that there's 3 different vaccines and it comes in like different variables is that they are literally just throwing shit at the wall and hoping that it works.
Mm.
Don't they just have like a catch-all vaccine?
This shit is literally developed by EA. It's, hey, listen, give us your fucking money. If it doesn't work, sorry.
It's gonna have microtransactions.
Oh,
if you want to like improve on it, buy this health
does
pack.
your vaccine now work? Well, we have a vaccine for the vaccine. Definitely give us your fucking money.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm around for about 7 years from now when I'm like up at like 4 a.m. and I see, did you or a loved one take the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine? You may be eligible for a lump sum settlement.
Yo, he not lying though, dude. That's how it be.
I'm like, oh, now I can finally get reparations for my kills.
All those Nestle Thibiola commercials came on mad late when nobody was up to see them.
I just don't want to have to choose from taking a vaccine made by EA, Take-Two Interactive, and the makers that brought you the game Cyberpunk 2077. Please. Let me get Rockstar Games in this bitch.
Well,
Let me get
what?
that.
I ain't gonna give all the heat to them because Outriders is also a mess. So they deserve attention too.
Listen, my boy was telling me to download that game. He's like, yo, you gotta get on Outriders. You gotta get on it. You gotta get it. It's $60. Go ahead and cop it. It's so fire. I said, okay. This is my Sony friend.
Oh, he didn't know any better.
This is my Sony friend.
That's why he said that.
Yeah, but then a couple of days later, he came back and said, you know, you can get it for free on Xbox. I said, oh, okay. No pressure. The only pressure now is I got to delete something off my hard drive because I probably got like 70, 80 gigs left.
So I don't know if you actually played it, but when you play it, you will see why it's on Game Pass.
And I wonder why it's on Game Pass so frequently. I feel like I'll get my answer though.
You have Game Pass though, correct?
Yeah, I do.
How is it? Is it good?
Game Pass is amazing. I just downloaded Grand Theft Auto 5. I've got MLB The Show coming up. I got NHL, or not the show, MLB 2K21. I've got, it's already a couple.
Wait, hold on. There's not 2 MLBs, isn't there?
No, there's one.
What did you just say? 2K21.
I messed up. It's MLB The Show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2K doesn't do it anymore.
It's MLB The Show is coming. NHL 21 for EA is coming because you get EA Play automatically. Madden, which you could play, is on there. It's a lot of good games. Plus, you can get Titanfall if you want to go back. One of my favorite RPG games. You can play all the first parties on Xbox on there. I mean, it's a gift that literally keeps on giving. In fact, I'm thinking about just buying a lot of Game Pass subscriptions because I know the prices are going up, just so I can have them and put the code in whenever I get ready, so I don't expire and have to pay maybe the new projected amount, whatever that's going to come out, so I don't have to worry about that.
That 120.
Yeah, pretty much.
That they was trying to throw out there.
Dude, I guarantee you, a month of that shit gonna be like $25 pretty soon.
But honestly, like, what I'm looking at that it does, $25 a month, that's not fucking bad. Like, that's not bad at all.
It's not, but I don't want to pay that right now.
No.
And if you are only focused on one system, but if you're trying to juggle 2 or 3, I'm not trying to pay $25, Chief. Sorry.
And here's my issue too. There hasn't been a really good game that has come out primarily for either system yet, but there will be.
Well, Resident Evil 8 is coming out, I believe, at the end of the month.
Right. So here's my thing. I got 2 consoles. I can't avoid one and only play the other.
I mean, I could take one off your hands.
Don't count on that being on Game Pass anytime soon. I'll say that. Yeah, that game is going to sell. It'll do fine.
Oh yeah, I know. I know the first uh, proprietary games that are not going to be featured on any type of bundle or anything like that. So I already know some games are $69.99 flat
I
out.
mean, you'll get it on there later, but just don't expect it within like the first 6, 7 months. Is what I'm saying. It'll definitely come there because Resident Evil 7 was in there, but you know,
Unless the rollout's bad, and then
yeah.
then you gotta put it on there. Um,
The, on- the only way it could be screwed up is if they mess up like last gen version, which is where everybody still is pretty much. But yeah,
at this rate, dude, there's no pressure for them to put out current gen games like how we thought they would have to, because
you
I
can't
don't
put
know
out current gen systems.
exactly.
I
Speaking of,
for the most part, I've given up. You don't even hear me talk about it no more.
no, you
Dude,
don't.
this has been one of the worst launches for a fucking new system, for a new console generation. I mean, they're talking about they might not be able to get like up to demand until a quarter of the way through the fucking generation.
You'll get the the Xbox Series XS before you get an X.
Listen, that's where I moved my target. I said I'm just gonna focus on that mid gen refresh.
That's exactly what it'll be at.
Oh man.
Because man, mm, mm, mm. They have to come out with the holiday price in what 7 months, don't they? Drop it down
They have to
50
come out
bucks.
with the holiday systems first.
Drop it down $50, $4.49, and you in there.
Shit, they need to put something on the fucking shelf first.
I think what they would do in this particular case is maybe not drop it at all, but just bundle it with a game because it still ain't enough out there, and I don't think it will be by then either. Like make it
Yeah, they're
five
saying
or
2022.
$4.99, but have a game with it like a high profile game that everybody likes,
Um,
the newest COD or something like that.
Speaking of current gen systems, did you guys see the update for Sony that just came
No.
out? Well, if you have one too many games on your console, like I do, there's a fix for that. You can now store your games on compatible USB drives. Anyone excited about this?
I mean, I would be if I had, if I had access to a console at all.
That is a feature that should have been there day one.
But I hate that feature though.
What do you mean?
You can only store games on there. You cannot play games on there.
Oh, you can't play them. I thought you can. Well, I thought you can always store them on something that. You talking about PS5 games or PS4 games?
PS5 games.
Oh,
They're calling the compatible storage piece, the USB, still good with PS5, but
mm.
because it doesn't have that solitary state drive like the PS5 does, it's a no go.
I thought that you were able to do store your games on there already. You just couldn't play them until you moved them because they got a lot of unnecessary steps when it comes to that and their cloud and all this other crap that I have no idea why they do those things the way they do. But
Yeah, no, I think
yeah,
they came with a list of applicable devices that you
mhm.
can, and you can just store. You can't play.
Well, then that news is pretty much useless. Then let me know the news where it says you can actually use an SSD aftermarket and put one in your joint and expand your storage because that's
Yeah,
probably
it's
what
dumb
people
as
want.
fuck.
You know,
I don't even know if I want to play that on a USB because the performance is probably not going to be there.
you wouldn't want to play a PS5 game off of an attached hard drive, even if it is SSD. I would probably just go with storing PS4 games on there if you have any. I don't think you do, but for the people that will, you want to store those on there and leave your PS5 games on the main unit.
Drew,
Make
you
life
again?
easy.
Are you gonna buy the additional piece that goes on the Xbox, 2 terabytes?
Depends. If I get an Xbox, depends.
Because now Xbox not looking so crazy, even though it's $200. But I mean, they told you right away this is what you got to do to play games, and they're not taking their foot off anybody's proverbial neck when it comes to that. All right, so that's out the way. One last thing, no discussion on this. Don't need to have one, but shout out to Apple. I will be there next Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Nah, let's discuss it. What's happening?
Yeah, you know what's happening, man. I mean, WWDC, baby. I mean, you see it. It was spring event. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy.
Shout out to Mac about 2 weeks ago, I believe. I don't have any Apple products in my house. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not an Apple guy anymore. I have one thing that's Apple.
I do. An iPhone.
Got to him now. I see Apple. I'm going to be in line. No
Well,
discussion. Don't at me on this.
Get 13 news, Drew, then I want to get it right from the source. Can't be mad at me for that. Can you?
I mean, hey, I'm everybody gets buried. I can be mad at everyone.
I got Surface 3. I just saw Surface 4 is coming out. Kind of upset about that.
You and your old tech.
Yo, I realized, like, yo, damn, like, every year I'm behind as soon as I get it.
That's how it goes, man. Cars and tech.
Never enough. All right. Let's go ahead and get to it, y'all. I know we've been pushing it off. Let's go ahead and get to Mania. Look, overall thoughts. It was not a bad Mania. I enjoyed it. I think I watched both nights with Swerve. I think I got about 4 minutes of nap time, maybe. I was up.
You improved.
I didn't sleep. Listen, I didn't sleep during the whole match, yo. I bought a couple pinfalls, couple kickouts, you know.
But I would have loved to have seen how you would have performed had this been one day.
Oh man.
You can forget it.
And not to mention
power right there.
Not to mention there was, content that we missed. So there, I don't know if it was pre-show matches or anything like that, but we didn't see any of those things.
There was no pre-show matches.
But it wasn't just talking? Okay.
All just talking.
Yeah, but you talking about a one-day runtime of probably 11 and a half hours.
It was all just talking and Smo Jonah Poncho.
Yeah. Like
trying to look tough.
Yeah, man. All right, so there are 2 nights in Mania, in case you're living under a sedimentary rock, Saturday and Sunday. Before we get into it, give me one answer. Did you prefer night 1 or night 2?
I'll go first. Night 1.
I will have to second Drew's agreement. And if you want me to dive further, I'll go into the pros of night 1.
Okay. I'm a night 1 guy too. Let's hear your pros.
My pros were the WWE title match, AJ and Omos New Day, Bunny performing way out performing my expectations, and then the Women's Championship match. I don't have as many on night 2, so that's how I see it.
Gotcha. I agree with what you said. As far as the pros for night 1, another pro for night 1. I mean, look, Cesaro and Seth Rollins. I mean, say what you want. The story's not that interesting, but again, we talked about this. I don't know how long ago it was, but we did. We said, look, if you're in the arena, in the stadium, watching a match, and you want to be entertained, and you take away the story, and they just put on a great wrestling match for you, are you mad? And overall, we said no. I think that's what we got when you got Seth and Cesaro mixing it up in the ring on Saturday. That was a really good match. It kind of went nowhere after that as far as the story is concerned. I don't think they're going to do anything on SmackDown, but yeah, it was a good match.
I want to piggyback off of what Swervy said about why night one was better than night two.
Mhm.
I want to just say that the reason that I'm picking it is because night one seemed like the highs for night one. I liked the same amount of matches between night one and night two. It seemed like the high points were better and the low points for night two were worse, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
Like the
I
things that
agree.
were good on night one were better than night two's, but the things that were bad, night two had worse bad shit than
Well,
night one.
Drew, WWE agrees with you. They're not wasting time. Did you see when old girl came out and did America the Beautiful? There were no wrestlers standing out there. They said, well, the video said this is from last night, not tonight. They're not lazy. They're like, hey, look, just stay in the back for night two. Yeah, I did it night one. Okay, we good.
No, they did America. They did a different America the Beautiful for night two.
Dude, but the
Yeah.
wrestlers standing on the stage.
Oh yeah, no, they weren't back
Yeah.
out on the stage.
Yeah.
They were in there from they're in the back for night two, which I thought was kind of funny. Someone said that. Let me find it really quick. Someone said that the pirate outfit that Hulk Hogan was donning was perfect because he used the hard R. Thought that was funny. I know our over and under on brother was 7. I don't think it got to 7, maybe like 3 or 4, because he was not looking at Hogan.
But wait a minute though, was that per day or was that total? Was that inclusive?
I don't know, but I think it was total, but it was how many brothers will it take for Titus to just look off Hogan, and I don't think it got to 7.
Yeah, I think like after like the
3
second or
or 4.
third one, he was like over it.
Yeah.
Dude,
Him as host.
what is the point of a host if they're gonna come out like once?
What's the point of the host where at the last minute you decide, oh shit, one of our top 3 superstars in the women's division has nothing to do. Let's put her here. I think she said more than Hulk Hogan did.
I mean, are we mad about that?
Not at all.
I think that was a failsafe because they didn't want to give Hulk Hogan a live mic.
You know what? To be honest, they really should have just gave her that job.
Right.
Just her.
I mean, her whole gimmick is being a talk show host.
When Hogan got the mic, though, it was Boo City, and I loved it.
They pumped in some cheers for your ears.
They had
Did
it.
anyone see Rex's Instagram video where she
Who?
was like the girl who sang America the Beautiful night one?
Oh.
She put on her either Instagram or something video of her like backstage getting warmed up, and you could see a sign in the background that says, "Do not slap your leg when you kick."
What?
Wow.
She had no idea.
Yeah. I guess she took it down since. Although I guess WWE was like, hey, can you take that down?
Did they say it?
Because they were getting fucking flamed online about it.
I mean, it was already out there though. Like everybody knows how crazy Vince is. Why not just leave it out there?
Well, I'll ask you during the match because that's a part of night one. If it was OJ the Juice Man, real or fake. Let's go ahead and get to it. Breaking down night one of WrestleMania. Over the match, it was Bobby Lashley with MVP taking on Drew McIntyre. This match closed with Lashley winning by, I don't want to say submission.
Tactical submission.
Yeah, Drew fell asleep. He was tired. What do you guys think of the match?
Mac, did you say this was your first time seeing his entrance? Did I recall you saying that?
Yes, Lashley's, yeah. Which
Yeah,
I
put a lot of.
love.
So, two things threw me by surprise on this match. First and foremost, I did not see Lashley walking out with the belt. Secondly, I did not see this being the longest match on night one.
Really?
But both happened.
We didn't do match lengths, um, but I wasn't surprised that this match went the length that it did, only because of one of the many uh, encounters they had leading up to this. I want to say it was Lashley and Sheamus, but on Raw. But one of those matches where it was really long, and I was like, well, this is probably a test of Bobby to see if he can go that long because he's never really had to go that long, and he did. So I was like, well, they must be gearing up for him to go quite a distance at the pay-per-view. Because I can remember back to their first encounter where him and Lashley and Drew, and I think they only went like 10 minutes before it was a finish. So they nearly doubled that. Even though I picked Lashley to win, again, my heart of hearts, I didn't think he was walking out with the championship. But there were things that pointed to it, as I, discussed over and over before leading up to the match. So it made sense for me for him to walk out with the belt, just because of the money you could see that they put into him. Like he's never had this kind of a spectacle, or the machine's never been behind Lashley. That's the difference when I talk about them versus the same wrestler being in other companies. Like you could take a jobber from somewhere else and make him look glorious if you wanted to. But if you take the same guy and put him in like TNA, he could be doing the same thing in the ring, but you wouldn't care because you don't have all of this flair behind it. So it's a big difference over here. But the match itself, I liked it. I mean, they're getting better with each other. You could see that because they had a little bit of some chain wrestling in there a little bit. And although Drew didn't really kicked out, or I think he did a kip up midway or half or toward the end of some of the moves, they really sold that hurt lock. So they want you to. I don't know who's gonna break it. I don't think it's gonna be Drew, but whenever they do have, it's gonna be a big deal. So they're working. I think that's their main thing that they're working towards, is to get that reaction when somebody does finally break it.
Yeah, I picked Lashley to win too. But Swerve will tell you, I'm watching the match, and my first comment was, I don't like how dominant Drew looks, and because he was just doing everything to Bobby, not selling or not being the. Well, Bobby wasn't being the aggressor for the most part, but then the match picked up, where then it became less 70-30 and it was more 50-50. My second observation was, throughout the match, Lashley could never get the hurt lock on Drew. Never broke it. When he finally put it on him, that was it. I think that move is up there now with End of Days. They are protecting that move. And just like you said, the first person to break it is going to be the one to beat him.
And I want to say that they maybe not equally protected, but the Claymore is still protected too, because he didn't get it.
Yeah.
He never hit him with it at all. Not even like a connection, then Lashley roll out the ring to buy time. Like it wasn't even one of those. So they went a classic route with this, where you're not spamming finishers, which I like, and it was still a good match.
Well, I'll ask this question, and Drew, when you go, if we could come back to it. But are they saving this because of part 2?
Saving what?
Claymores and the hurt, and maybe breaking the hurt lock. Don't answer that now. Don't answer it now. Drew, go ahead.
My thought is, I don't think it's going to be Drew. I think it's going to be somebody else. Because if it was going to be Drew, it would have happened.
You mean to break it?
To break it and then to beat him. If they were going to have it Drew, they would have done this at Mania. They're not going to have him do that. They're not going to break the Hurt Lock and beat Lashley at Backlash. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But going back to my question, with us saying that the Hurt Lock on Bobby's side and the Claymore on Drew's side being both protected, I feel like, and this is WrestleMania 2, a lot of one-match finishers, or a lot of one-finisher matches, rather. Whoever gets that one off is going to win the match. And I'm scared that if I see a Claymore, I know what time it is. Because this isn't finished between these two.
I'm trying to remember during Randy and Drew McIntyre's, series. I want to say Orton kicked out of one of them, but it is still highly protected.
I think they decided, once we can take this dude to the moon, and I think they decided that post Orton, they said we have to fully protect that.
Yeah.
Because this dude 3 future shocks off one Lashley or 2.
Drew, I wanted to shoot a question your way because I didn't get to talk to you about it. In this defeat, do you think Drew still looks strong?
Yes, just because of one main reason.
What's that?
And that is he didn't tap out. If he tapped out, I would say he looks bad. Or not bad, but doesn't look as strong as he could. But because he didn't tap out, I think that he still looks somewhat strong. He might have lost a little bit, but not as much.
Okay. Well, the only reason I'm bringing that up is because you guys know I was on the side of, hey, Bobby Lashley's going to retain, but he's going to retain because of the Hurt Business. They're going to get back together. Obviously, we all know that didn't happen. Now, prior to the match, on Raw, whatever, when they dismantled the Hurt Business, he told Shelton and I can't remember the other guy's name, but he basically said, I don't need you, right? I don't need you to beat Drew McIntyre. And then he went out there and proved it. So that's my thinking of, does Drew look strong or weak in this? And that's why I was kind of thinking, well, damn, they kind of made him look a little soft when you look at it that way. Go ahead, Mac. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say Cedric. What's his name? Cedric Alexander.
Yeah. I can never think of his name.
Hey, I called Cedric the Entertainer one time. Nobody said. So I got that off. Yeah, we'll follow with this when it comes to Raw, but very interesting. But before we get to the next match, I want to rewind because WrestleMania 37 started off as Michael Cole coined it, WrestleRania, and Drew, I gotta get in your ass real quick, man. No Vaseline. Pause. You said the WWE, 95? What's the number you used? 95, 96, whatever it was. You said pretty much a vast majority of wrestlers were on a script. What script was getting handed out? When rain delays and thunder.
The first 40 minutes.
Probably the same one that allowed Michael Cole to give away the finish of the main event before,
Oh my God. Bam. Did you see how many people they were cutting to? I know you said you were sick, so I was just trying to ask if you saw it.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that they were probably being, fed like, hey, stall for time.
But there was no botches, there was no mix-ups. Everything was clear, concise.
They say the botches for once the show started.
Oh my God. I ain't talking about when the show started. I'm talking about when they cut to Kevin Owens and Strowman. Even Strowman sounded good. Sammy sounded good. Rhea sounded good. Come on, man. Belair. What's your argument now? I just wanted to know.
So
you don't have it.
No, I do. Okay, so let's go to the Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre thing.
Yeah.
Is it really compelling promo for Drew McIntyre to be like, I'll fight you right here. Okay, bring him. No, I'll fight you right here. Okay. Oh, hold me back. No, I'll do it right here. We can do it right here. No, hold me back. Hold me back, bro. I'm gonna go. We'll go. That's the promo of the year right there. That's the unscripted. That's the fucking good shit. That's the morsel.
If you didn't watch Mania from start to finish, you think Drew would be 100% accurate. But what he's missing is the whole interaction with MVP and Bobby Lashley prior to Drew even showing up. Did you hear that?
No, MVP can cut a fuck. Here's the thing: MVP was around the time that it was loose, so he can fucking go.
You know what you're doing, man? You're going to Denny's, not to get ham and eggs, but you're 6 years old in this example here, where they hand you a blank piece of paper that you have to color a dinosaur in. And you're not good at coloring inside the lines just yet, but for the most part you do. But there's still a little purple, little blue, little orange outside that thick black line of that trace of a dinosaur. You're good for the most part, but you keep leaving shit out. And you can't forget that you got to make sure you include everything. MVP, Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, Bianca Belair, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, they all hit in the rain on the pre-show when the delay happened. You can't take it away from them, and there was no script. So I don't want to hear that no more from you. I just don't.
So I am also willing to bet that some of these people had a scripted promo during the show.
Oh, my God.
And during the rain delay, they went, okay, here's what we're going to do. And instead of doing your promos in between the matches, we're just going to do them now.
I can't prove that to be false, but come on, man.
Can we all agree one thing, though?
What's that?
MVP in 2007 would have been so over if he had a manager like MVP in 2021.
I can agree with that. Yeah, he's really good at what he does. I don't want to see him wrestle anymore. Because
I don't think he is, man. He's still got that cane.
Well, I mean, I've seen him with the cane 1 week, then the next week a singlet. So I don't, I'm just trying to figure out what he's doing.
I don't know, bro. He be hobbling with that joint. I don't know.
Well, I hope it's not real, but at the same time, I hope he just decides to sit his ass down. So yeah, that's all I had to get for you, Drew. I had to get into you, man, because you be tripping when it comes to that script and shit, and I had to get on you. Hope you're okay with that. Night 1, second match. I don't know what happened to my screen here. I'm trying to find it.
The second match was the tag team turmoil, and I'm sure that's why you lost your sheet. By the way, is because you don't want to talk about this fucking match.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the one where you gotta get your pretzels, get your beer.
I would have completely been okay with him dozing off during this because I don't even remember it.
Yeah, I mean, I watched. One thing we did skip over was SmackDown from last week. So I watched SmackDown. So I saw who won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal was Jey Uso. I saw who there was a tag match, and Tamina. No, it was a singles match. It was Tamina versus Nia Jax, and Tamina had on a god awful outfit, and I think there was some interference after the match. So I knew that they were going to end up winning the turmoil. So that's all I really cared about. But everything in between, I'm totally a blur.
So let's talk about it. All right. So the first two teams in were Lana and Naomi and Billie Kay and Carmella. That's all fine. It was a little bit clumsy, but it was fine. Carmella and Billie Kay got the first pinfall. Then Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose came out. And this is where, to quote a prophet, shit fell apart. So, first and foremost, Mandy Rose falls on her ass on the way to the ring. Gets back up. Their outfits are something else.
Real WWE Divas Championship-esque, yes?
Yes. And in WWE Divas search fashion, this team accounted for no less than 3 nip slips during the fucking show.
It was all Dana, though, wasn't it?
Dana twice and then Carmella once. So it's not this team, but it's...
okay.
So they got the win on Billie Kay and Carmella in a very spotty fucking match between them. Riot Squad comes out. Riot Squad gets the W on them. Natalya and Tamina show up. They get the W. So Natalya and Tamina get the win.
Who saw that coming?
One thing to note is, I got 2 things that were epiphanies in this match. First and foremost, anytime that we sit there and we say the women need a mid-card belt because there's so many women and not enough championships, this match has made me realize that's a crock of shit because there's a lot of women on this roster who do not deserve championships. Also, aside from maybe 1 or 2 women, I would love to see the women's tag team division, just the whole division, head to NXT UK where I never fucking have to see them again.
Iberia.
Because holy fucking shit, that match was awful.
The star
that
rating
was like 2006 Divas fucking match right there.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't great, man. It was really low. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was waiting to see Kelly and Carmella come out. Or not Carmella, but what was it? Candice Michelle.
Well, look, one thing you can't say about 37 is that you got a match with some meaningless wrestlers because they all mattered. They were all current, maybe except for one. And that's one you could argue. That was Edge. Every wrestler on the card was a current superstar.
That is one thing that really stood out to me. And that is one thing that, listen, as much as I shun WWE, I have to give this WrestleMania props. Aside from Edge, and that's very loose because Edge has been on every single SmackDown since he won the Royal Rumble. There were no part-timers in these matches. So everyone was a full-time wrestler. And in my personal opinion, it made WrestleMania better because it allowed the full-time stars to shine.
All right, so third match, Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. I thought this match, like I said before, didn't really care about the story. I do know as the time went on, between the last Raw and Mania, I decided to look up the significance with these two, and they do have history. So I think that's why they're primarily working with each other. One of the big on-screen stories was the swing from Cesaro, so that would be a big part of WrestleMania. 22 happened on the SmackDown they feuded with. Here you got 23, but then you also got the UFO from Cesaro that went off pretty well. And this was a good back and forth between these two. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did not see Cesaro winning just because Cesaro going Cesaro, but I was wrong. Seth lost, but he found a way to put his good buddy over, and I'm not mad that this happened.
So, as much as I dislike the SmackDown storyline between these two, I did like the story that they told during WrestleMania, which is Cesaro's never had a singles match at WrestleMania. He's been here for 10 years. Everyone says that, he's such a great wrestler, but he's yet to really, be able to show it. And this is his opportunity, and he needs to grasp it. I thought that was great. I thought that was a great story that they were able to tell in one match that was bigger than their whole fucking angle that they did on SmackDown, where it's just, how dare you swing me and embarrass me. That was a better story on just one night.
So, Drew, then you were okay with the, I guess, celebration of a win at the end of this match, if you will.
I was okay with the celebration of what that win meant. It wasn't just, yes, I got a win over Seth Rollins. It was, yes, I've been here for 10 years, and I finally got a singles match at WrestleMania, and I won it, to show that I deserve to be in that kind of spot of being in a singles match at WrestleMania.
All right. So, do you think that they're going to keep with this momentum on Cesaro?
I think that in modern day WWE, they don't keep momentum on a lot of things. I think that's pretty. I don't think that I'm being unbiased or biased in that sense. I think that you all can agree that there's a lot of times where you see a guy starting to pick up momentum, and then all of a sudden he gets put in an angle where you're just scratching your head going, what the fuck?
So you can easily say that this could all have been for nothing, just for this one moment, and we never see it again. Right?
Possibly. Or, it could be something where we see it materialize into something where he's in a championship match at SummerSlam. You never know with the WWE. You really don't. I mean, just look at Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley showed up to huge fanfare. We're all like, this guy's going to headline with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And then look what he did for almost a year and a half in WWE, where he was on the mid card with Rusev. He was dwindling with fucking Dolph Ziggler. And now he's the fucking WWE champion.
Yeah, I know. We crap on that Rusev segment a lot, but it was still a high-rated segment. You don't have to like it, but it got a lot of eyes.
And that's the thing, though. The fans showed that they had interest, but the company kept on giving him shit to work with.
Yeah, they started him with that. Well, not started, but the biggest thing he's done before this was that bullshit with Trump, which was as bad as he was. And then, well, you think you couldn't go lower than that? They could, and they did the sisters thing. But we kept saying Lashley deserves better, and we damn near gave up on him. But Swervey kept us in the loop. He said, "Don't do it to my man. Something's coming down the line."
All he had to do was remove the headband, man.
All you got to do is remove the headband. I don't know what the fuck that was, but I'm glad they did. And man in tailored suits, looking sharp, looking good. Got a nice voice box behind him with MVP. Yo, I mean, I am a fan of lengthy championship reigns. Not too long, but a nice amount of months. Nice amount of matches where you can defend it too. They got to put this dude, give him the CM Punk treatment, where he's keeping that belt on him for a while. Because Lashley's the best thing going next to the winner of the main event on night 2, in my opinion. Some people may argue he's the best. Moving on. The contender for match of the night. The Raw Tag Team Championships. It was the New Day who was greeted in the back by Big E. And you got a full New Day experience thanks to a lightning delay. They ended up taking on the challengers of AJ Styles and Omos. Keeping it 100, I had no idea what Omos could do. No idea. I didn't have any faith. I based his wrestling ability on his promos. His promos were shit. He never got the mic, but when he did, oh God. It was awful. I'd rather listen to Great Khali cut an opening Raw promo than listen to him again. I was totally taken back because I just didn't know what this man could do. And I like that you kind of, had that mystery of not knowing what he could do in the ring. But if anything I take away from this match, I just keep hearing AJ Styles go, Now, Omis, now. Like, sick him, get him. Like, he literally unleashed this giant son of a bitch on the New Day.
Can we just agree the best thing for Omos is that they put him with AJ Styles?
Yep.
I mean, we can agree that now. Right before WrestleMania night, didn't think it was going to be, any kind of chemistry or whatever. I was thoroughly entertained during the match. I mean, and that's not any. That's partly because of New Day as well. I mean, it makes all the sense in the world for them to have wrestled them and not the Hurt Business, because they wouldn't have gone that way. Well, just assuming that Shelton and Alexander still had the belts, it definitely wouldn't have gone that way. So it paid off. AJ and Xavier and AJ and Kofi have a bit more chemistry in the ring together. So it would have, this was.
AJ sold his ass off for them, and I love that. And obviously the New Day have great chemistry with each other. They're a great tag team, but that crowd, like, you could feel in the crowd, they could not fucking wait until Omos got that tag. And it was the smartest thing, because instead of going, oh fuck, we're gonna see Omos soon, it went from that to, I can't fucking wait till he tags in Omos.
My only knock towards him is he didn't have any like real ring gear. And I was telling Mac, I said, when have you ever seen the heel face dynamic, but you're waiting on the heel to get the hot tag?
Clearly, they're letting it know, like, yo, the hot tag isn't coming from New Day. It is AJ and Omos. And I didn't hate it.
Whoever produced that match did a real good fucking job putting that shit together, because
Drew, I was about to say, man, like, they were the only ones in the building who knew what was about to happen. And everyone else got put on, and I don't think anybody was mad that Omos did what he did.
I honestly hope from now on, like, if you're running like a wrestling school and you're trying to teach young wrestlers how to build emotion and basically make the crowd do what you want, show this match. Show a match where a guy who's never wrestled before, who fans going in were like, yo, this guy's probably gonna stink up the joint. And by midway through the match, you have them anticipating him. Like, I can't wait to see him. And then once he gets a tag, they go fucking nuts.
But you gotta also realize, though, even if you school somebody on how to build a character this way, it's almost a guarantee that they're not going to have 3 supporting superstars of the caliber that was in that ring with them.
Exactly.
You're not going to have an AJ. You're not going to have a Kofi. You're not going to have Xavier, somebody who's talking you through the match, talking about, we're cutting off the ring. Like, I thought that was great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, he had a lot of support, and it paid off.
He did have a lot of help, and you know what that tells me right off the bat? That tells me that the powers that be, Vince and the people in the back, have a lot of high hopes for him.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
he's somebody that they're investing heavily.
I mean, with Drew, is it that obvious? Because Vince loves big guys.
Well, we've seen a lot of big guys come in where it's like, yeah, get out there, pal, and just power bomb somebody and show your size. But the fact that you have this guy debut at WrestleMania in the ring with 3 guys who are more than likely going to be in the Hall of Fame when they retire says volumes.
Let me ask a silly question about a Hall of Famer. Knowing what you know, let's take the same 3 guys and let's just swap Omos out for a great colleague. Could that have worked?
No.
And I'll tell you why. I will tell you why right now. 2 reasons. A, Khali could not work worth the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Omos might not be the best wrestler, but he can at least do what he needs to do. And he has strengths that they can build upon. Khali literally karate chops you. he's basically Goro from the first Mortal Kombat movie. Secondly,
At least
he
upper body
doesn't
wise.
Right.
Yeah,
He's arms. That's about it.
and moveset wise. I mean, yeah, that's his moveset. But also, he doesn't speak a lick of English. So while you have AJ and the New Day kind of talking him through and telling him, okay, it's beat, okay, do this, do that, do this, do that, you can't do that with Kali.
The
Kali
jury's
has
still
no
out.
fucking clue.
The jury's still out on Omos. We don't know what he speaks.
No, I know what he's speaking. He was speaking real good in the ring.
Yeah.
He was speaking when, hey, kudos to the WWE. Listen, this isn't a Mac is about to suck the WWE's balls off. It's, look, credit where credit is due.
Look, I'm giving him credit. I'm the biggest fucking AEW mark on this fucking podcast. I'm giving him credit.
I know, but here's another thing I want to give him credit on. When last year WrestleMania was in the Thunderdome, quote unquote, you heard everything. You heard a pin drop. This year, you got a live crowd there. Fans are there. But one thing they didn't take away was the audio from the wrestlers. We still heard voices. I thought that was really important because you can still verbally tell a story in the ring. And you heard almost cussing New Day out. You heard Lashley and McIntyre going back and forth. I thought that was important.
So, two things. First and foremost, Omos knew how to make the facials he needs to make. He wasn't just like walking around the ring like, okay, now I got to do this. Now I got to. No, he had that face like, you're dead. Like, I'm going to kill you. And like, he had that killer face on him that I love.
He did get that part right. Yeah, when he was holding Kofi's arm and pulling him up.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
he made a fatal mistake at the end of the match. And one that you could definitely see AJ trying to correct, but it was too late. And instead of looking at the hard cam to, raise their titles, Omos is facing the other side of the arena. So his back is to AJ's back. And it's like, oh no, you want to be facing the hard cam. Like that's like Vince's 101 thing.
Mm.
But for the most part, I still think that he put on, at this point in Mania, he put on one of the more wow matches of the night, meaning, wow, I didn't expect you to be so good on your first night.
Yeah, especially with all, you had to be stressed out. He has to be under a lot of pressure to have your first match at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
well, I mean, no more pressure than Fandango.
And look where he is now.
But one thing you got to say about Omos is once he started going, he really started going. And you can see he loved that shit. He loved it. And I hope we get that same energy from him because Mania is big fight feel. But if you can get the lesser pay-per-views and he's still carrying on like that, I'm not mad at that. Now, gentlemen, before we move on, we do know the reason why you form a tag team is to what?
Break them up.
All right. So, when do we get it and how do we get it? Because this is going to happen.
So, first and foremost, I just want to point out spot of the night, or spot of the match at least, was when Omos was standing by the ropes.
Yeah.
And AJ did the phenomenal forearm off his shoulders.
Oh, my
that
God.
Shit was fucking fire. I popped. I was half dead from COVID shot. I jumped out of my seat.
I don't know if any of you are familiar with Mortal Kombat 10, but there's a character on there named Ferritor, and I thought about that character. It's like a giant and then a little
I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
girl that holds onto his back.
His yes, I know exactly who you're talking about.
So I'll tell you exactly how they're going to break this team up. I can see this ending up almost like Shawn and Diesel, where, Omos has a shot at like a higher title, a singles title, and, AJ kind of fucks it up for him. And because of that, Omos is like, yo, I'm done with this shit. You just screwed up I was there for you this entire time, and you screwed this up for me. I don't care about this tag belt. I don't care about this tag team. Get the hell out of here. You just screwed this shit up for me. And then they become rivals. I can kind of see that.
So this may be way too long, and I'm not suggesting they hold the tag belts this long, but I'm thinking they are at least a tag team until the Royal Rumble, because I think that Omos will, he'll be getting in some singles competition and stuff like that during that time, but he won't really be ready to kind of go on his own until then. So they'll have some miscommunication in the Royal Rumble, and from there he'll have his singles match, AJ versus Omos, at the next WrestleMania.
I don't think it'll be the next Mania. I'm saying maybe by the pay-per-view right before SummerSlam, because I think the SummerSlam match that we all are going to get, that we don't know we're going to get yet, is going to be Omos against Braun Strowman. That one has a big fight feel to it. Two big guys, one 7'3", the other one 6'11", 6'10", and I think you could go back to big heavyweight type matches in wrestling. You already got Lashley and McIntyre. Why not throw this one on there too? But I don't know if AJ and Omos will feud, or if it'll just be, hey, I'm gonna go my way, you go your way, and we won't have to speak of whatever we did in the past 4 or 5 months. But I'm interested to see how they're gonna break up.
Another thought I had is the way they kind of broke up Sean and Sid, where like AJ has a shot at the world belt. He loses, not because Omos screwed up, but let's say like the referee like banned him from ringside and AJ lost. And then the next night on Raw, AJ's like, Omos, it's your fault. I can't believe you cost me this belt. And Omos is like, you know what? I'm going to have to take this out on you. And like, just like takes him to school. And yeah, it might flip AJ to a good, a baby face because he just got like beaten down. But that's going to allow Omos to shine as well because he lays out AJ.
And then Omos will start attacking Jose Lothario.
Hey, if we can get Jose Lothario, you need to put that motherfucker through a table.
All right. Yeah,
I don't know.
So far,
come with some better ring gear before we do all of that, though, please.
Dude, he got the Baron Corbin treatment, bro.
Well,
he's got the Roman Reigns look.
He's gonna get the Baron Corbin treatment if he don't change his gear.
Well, hey. Moving on. This match happened, and we were good to go. Match placement is everything. The next match that occurred was Braun Strowman and Shane O'Mac. Not gonna lie, this was the match I snoozed at just a little bit.
Not gonna lie, don't blame you.
Well deserved.
There were some snooze parts in this match that I thought, gotta deliver.
This is for everyone who's ever been bullied and called stupid, and they're like, bro, I watched you flip an ambulance with somebody inside of it.
Dude, the WWE has these amnesia gimmicks where they move on to a character, and the progression of their character, they forget what they did in the past. You know how that is.
If we're going to do like a bullying gimmick, I'm fine with that. Okay, fine. Well, I mean, I think it's stupid, but whatever. Don't fucking pick Braun Strowman to be the guy bullied. It's like, yeah, I was 400 pounds overweight, and all throughout high school, I bullied LeBron James in high school. Like, what? Are we sure it's not the other way around? No, it's not.
It's the same treatment I see when I see girls online talking about how they was bullied for looking a certain way. Like, you shut up. Nobody told you ugly.
Right. Oh, your nose crooked. Yeah, please. Stop that.
It's like, get the fuck out of here. It's like, how you have this roster full of jobbers who all look dopey looking. Pick one of them. Pick a Ricochet. I got bullied all my life for people saying I have a weird nipple and where I had the tattoo. Yeah, you know what? I can see that. People bully me because I put my finger in my ass or my sex tapes. Yeah, I can see that too. Braun Strowman. Hey, so the 50-year-old Shane McMahon, who's wrestled a combined like 20 matches in his life, if he's lucky, is going to bully Braun Strowman.
Did you see before or during the rain delay? I think Kayla Braxton asked him like, "Why Braun?" It's like, I just want to mess with him. I just want to have some fun. I literally think that was the first time he said that the entire feud.
I want to mess with him. I want to have some fun. This dude has kill you strength. Okay? This is like going, hey, so I kind of want to have some fun, so I'm just going to slap a rattlesnake. This guy flipped a fucking ambulance. He flipped a fucking semi-truck. I don't care if it was on lifts.
That's why I want to be fucking this
another
match.
level of strong.
Didn't he put stage onto a Hall of Famer?
I think so.
On Kane, didn't he push a stage or a piece of a stage on Kane in the back?
Yeah.
And this is the guy you bully. You feel bullied, Braun?
The one guy. Oh, we're gonna be doing this in a steel cage. This dude could lift the steel cage. Oh, it came down before I can get in. No, it's all right. I'll just lift it up. That's who you're bullying? And you're going to be like, oh, you're stupid, Braun. Oh, Braun, you're stupid. Bro, who's the fucking stupid one? Who's the stupid one? The guy who screams a lot or the guy bullying a guy who flipped a fucking ambulance?
You know what that is, Drew? Lazy writing. That's all it is.
Well, they say when you go in jail, you're supposed to take the biggest dude and knock him out. That's what Shane was doing, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like if you ask any person who actually was in jail, they'll tell you the same thing. If you do that, you're probably going to get stabbed. So this is Shane's version of getting fucking stabbed.
Shane was in Martha Stewart jail, if anything. And that's not what they do at Martha Stewart jail. They bake quiches and knit sweaters. Fucking 6'9", 330-pound people.
Hey, look, I was against this from the beginning, so I didn't expect anything out of this story.
Dude, I'm right there with you. But it's like Shane saying, I got the pick of the litter of a lot of superstars who I feel could give me the best spot match. And he said, all right, Braun, come on, let's do this.
Like, what the fuck?
I don't think Shane can wrestle like he did even last year anymore. I think that's done. And he can't have a paced match. So you can spend a lot of time on your back. You can have one big crescendo of a spot where Braun breaks open the cage, takes you, and throws you off of it. And I think that's your payoff.
Around February, when things are, taking shape, if I'm Braun, I guess from a payday perspective, I'm happy. But if I get the call from Shane, like, hey, we're going to work together, I'm on the other end of the phone, like, fuck. Because I would be so upset to have to do that. Yeah. I said from a payday perspective, you're happy because you're going to get paid. But I'm talking about the match. Like, that's not the match you want to be in. Like, come on now. No wrestler wants to be in a match against Shane. At least not this one.
But if we're going with the greater later, which I think that's what's going to happen with him.
What is that? Tell me what that is, please.
Well, we saw what happened on Raw. He got put in the main event spot. Yes, I know the result. We can tell
okay. All right. Well,
but
I was about to say.
I mean, look, AJ and Omos is also on Raw too. He can listen. He can find a partner, and we can get this thing cracking now. I'm just saying.
I don't understand why he wasn't like feuding with like Kevin Owens and being like, you have a stupid accent. Like okay, that's bullying I can get behind.
Well, we already seen that though. We don't want to see them feud with Kevin Owens again. Remember Shane feuded with Kevin Owens?
Yeah, it was awful.
It went on way too long.
Okay, we're going on to the next match because I hate this match.
Well, Braun Strowman ended up winning, and he overcame his bully.
His bully.
Yeah, it turns out when you're 350 pounds of raw muscle, and you actually have a tattoo that says how strong you are, and your bully's a 55-year-old rich kid. It's not hard to overcome your bully.
So just doing this on Bleacher Report, just want to give their star ratings, see if we yay or nay agree or disagree. Just going back, the first match, Braun and Drew, they gave it, or I'm sorry, Lashley and Drew, they gave it 3 3/4 stars of a match, so close to a 4. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I would have said 3.5. Yeah.
They gave the Turmoil match 1.5 stars. I would give it 2.5 stars if I had another. What's the line? I fucked it up. Damn.
Well, each of those stars must be for all of the nip slips, right?
Well, yeah. Yeah. 3.5 stars for Cesaro and Seth. The New Day match with Omos and AJ got 1.5 stars.
That's stupid as fuck.
Don't know why. And the match with Shane and Strowman got 3 stars.
Wow.
Got to be a typo.
Wait, hold up. Hold up. Whoa, no, let's. Whoa, okay. Who? This was Bleacher Report?
Yeah, I don't know if it is a typo, but it better well be one.
Get my fucking shovel. Okay? There is no fucking way that tag team match got 1.5 stars, and that cage match that multiple people on this podcast fell asleep during got 3 out of 5 stars. No fucking way, except, and I'm going to say it, because of the fact that they're racist. That's what I'm going to say. I don't know for sure,
Wait,
but
so
it sounds like it.
you
What?
said the women's tag got 1.5 stars, right? Or are you saying both tag matches?
I'm talking. Here's their description. New Day's Raw Tag Team Championship defense against AJ and Omos was never intended to be a great match. It was rather an introduction to the Massive Bodyguard as an in-ring competitor, and in that regard, it succeeded. The crowd roared as Omos stepped over the top rope and confronted Kofi and Xavier, who were nothing short of fantastic, as they sold the awe and fear the big man inspired. From there, he tossed the celebrated tag team around the ring before pinning Kofi with one foot on his chest. Barely fazed by the competition set forth by the future Hall of Famers, Styles' phenomenal forearm from Omos' shoulder was sweet too. While Omos' debut was a success and WWE made a hell of a monster out of him on night 1, it still does not a great match make. That's I don't know. I guess they meant to say it still does not make a great match.
So I don't think a lie was told in there, but the rating doesn't really match up with that.
Because if the point was to get, listen, we're not grading the wrestling as a whole. If the point was to get Omos over and the motherfucker got over, what are you grading?
But here's the thing. The match was still good. The wrestling was still good. The New Day and AJ's wrestling skill was really good. And even when Omos was in the ring, that was not a 1-star performance from Omos.
Yeah, so, I think they're grading Omos and not everybody else.
And even though that wasn't a 1-star performance, he did what a big man's supposed to do, which is throw everyone around the ring. And he did it very good and very convincingly. He was very convincing.
Everybody in that match played their role. Knew they were cowards. AJ Styles sold it so much where, like Swervey said, we wanted the heel team to get the hot tag. Dude, come on. If that's not selling something perfectly, I don't know what the hell is. You're excited to see a heel that is not a Stone Cold heel, but a real, true heel. you're really excited to see him, you're doing something right. I don't get that.
Yeah.
Well, moving on to a match that, again, at this point, dude, I'm still living off the high that almost brought. He's the star of night one so far, WrestleMania. But in the great words of Jack Tripper, come and knock on my door, it was the man who is more so known in April, normally the first Sunday, the Easter Bunny. Except this one was bad.
The Ether Bunny.
Knocking on the door. Now, before I even get into the match, we know how entrances and custom performances and weird shit that happens when you come out on the stage that is WrestleMania. When you get that entrance, you're bound to lose. The first entrance was Miz and Morrison, and they came out with, I don't know, maybe about 25, 30 bunnies. And you should have known they were losing when you saw that, which they did end up losing.
You know what? I'll say one thing though about that. Even though I saw that, I never thought about that as being one of the custom entrances because they performed it. So yes, they lost, but I would say that's an exception to the rule.
Well, they were out there with like 40 John Cena's, man.
That was broken, by the way, later on, but yeah.
Yeah. But there were times in this match where I was literally left speechless. You know when you play in the game against your friend and your friend isn't as good or better than you in the game, but somehow they're beating you and you're in a lax position while you're playing. You gotta sit up a little bit to get focused.
You're like, all right, man, hold up.
Right. Dude, I literally had to sit up and say, holy shit, Bad Bunny is impressing the hell out of me right now. I mean, if you want to keep it a buck, this overtook, in my eyes, match of the night with Damian Priest and Bad Bunny against Miz and Morrison.
I mean it was definitely better than the last celebrity match Morrison was involved in with Snooki.
Oh, well, yeah. But had you told, if I'm not watching wrestling and I don't know Latin music, and you told me that Bad Bunny was a artist who recorded music, and this was his first wrestling match, I would have told you were lying. I was impressed thoroughly.
So
I was sitting there watching it with Swerve, and we were like, "Yo, this dude is putting on right now."
So I will say one thing that stood out to me big time, because a lot of times when you see a celebrity come in, you see them giving out offense like crazy. You know, they'll have the wrestler in a hold, and they'll be kicking and punching, and and the wrestler will be putting on a show. Bad Bunny was the first celebrity that I had really seen in a long time to sell the fuck out of the match and sell an ass kicking. And he sold shit out of it. And I'm like, yo, he is really good at this. I was impressed, and I will go out on a limb to say, like, if I had to pick top 3 best celebrities as far as in a match, Bad Bunny might be at the top of that list.
You know who they say he was training with, right?
No, I did not.
Renegade?
No.
Power plant? Oh, yeah.
Okay, give me a real guess between you, one guess each. Give me a real one. There were 2 wrestlers helping Bad Bunny at the Performance Center. You or just name, if you could name one, I'll take that.
Current? They're active?
Yes and no.
Oh shoot.
You're never gonna get it.
I would say first and foremost, I would say whoever his fucking partner was. I keep on wanting to call him Punishment Martinez. Damian Priest is obviously one.
No.
Chavo.
No.
Not Dr. Tom Pritchard, right?
Nope. I'll fill you in. At the Performance Center, helping Bad Bunny get his bearings, none other than the mode in Call of Duty after you lose in Warzone. You gotta go one-on-one with somebody.
Oh, it's not spelled that way, but okay.
Well, replace the G with a K. That's what you got. Drew
Oh,
Gulak and Adam Pearce. Getting Bunny acclimated.
Well, Adam Pearce earned his paycheck for the rest of the year. Because that was really good. Like, I can't fucking believe it.
I'm sure it was all Drew Gulak because Drew Gulak is pretty good. He just
Well,
doesn't.
Adam Pearce is a former wrestler.
Yeah, but he probably was outside.
Yeah, that's what I saw this other day, and I'm like, this can't be real. But no, it'd be real. I mean, you normally when you get a celebrity in a match, you get spots. I didn't get a lot of spots in here. I got a fluid match that told the story, and I think one of the best. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, this was just wrestling.
Yeah,
Just happened to be a celebrity in the ring. Like you really couldn't tell, the difference other than he was, his gear didn't look like wrestling gear. That was it.
Were you
yo,
guys surprised that he spent the majority of the match in the ring?
Yes, all of those things were surprises. So you know what happened with him? What happened with AJ and Omos, other than like the power moves? I thought that's what happened with Bad Bunny. He would just get in at the end and do a little sequence, and it would be over.
Because that's usually what you get with this celebrity is, oh, it's a hot tag. I can't wait to see Snooki get in the ring, and then you get like a couple moves that aren't great, but they're impressive because it's a person who's never wrestled before,
Yeah,
and then they get the pin.
participation trophy. Yeah.
when that
So the
dude,
fact that not only did Bad Bunny spend the majority of the match in the ring, but he's not the one who got the pin, that's crazy.
Yeah, and he hung with all of those guys. Like, like that's insane to me.
when
I
that man,
feel like he should be in the Hall of Fame based off this one match.
well, look, if fucking William Shatner's there, when I was gonna say when he hit that Canadian destroyer outside of the ring on Morrison, I mean, me and the Miz, we might have been looking in a mirror because I had the same look on my face. Like, yo, I can't believe this dude just did that. Now, granted, it was probably about 90% Morrison doing the work, but still,
I
it
still
looked good.
say though, that's you still gotta do some work to not mess that up. So I'm not gonna take nothing away from him of that because that he did what he had to do
That's
and made
true.
it look like I won't take nothing away from him on that one.
Um, you got a Falcon Arrow, you got the Canadian Destroyer, you got some really good moves. The one,
And the
oh, go ahead.
coordination, the coordination between him and Damien when they both hit their what was that what suplex they did at the same time.
The
They did
Falcon
that
Arrow.
better than they did that better than professional wrestlers do.
Yeah, they did.
Like Kane and Undertaker chokeslam was never in that it was never in that much sync.
Not at all. Now, I'm nitpicking here. I'm nitpicking. But the only thing that I did not like about this match was the finish. I thought the move, the flying lariat from the top rope, Miz, you're supposed to go out to something better than that. You gotta go out with something better than that. I would have liked like a double power bomb or give me Davies finisher, something. I just thought that was a little remedial to go out that way.
So wait, I'm having trouble recall. Damien got the pin, right? But who did the lariat?
Buddy did the lariat.
But that was his thing, right? Or as that what we're acknowledging as his finisher? Because if it is, then you just gotta accept it.
No, I can't accept that.
They had a name for it, right? Or was that just that was the other thing they called the Bunny Destroyer outside the ring?
I don't know if it is a name attached to it, but it ain't good.
Well, yeah, I'll sum up my thoughts on by saying I want to see Bunny and Miz one-on-one now. I'll just end it there.
Well, you ain't getting that. You know that. Well, you might not. I mean, maybe you could get it. But
listen, if Miz and Daniel Bryan can go 6 months, they can do it later.
I mean,
you're not getting it because they're already promoting his tour on night 2. So,
but Drew, what do you think about this? From a give and take standpoint, with the two parties, Bad Buddy and WWE, this is in my opinion, I'll ask you this: do you think that this was a promotion made in heaven? Because Bad Buddy loves wrestling. WWE said, "Hey, come through. You can compete at Mania. You can feud with Miz and Morrison for a month or 2 months." They got out of him what he needed, and then some because of his performance. And then he said, "Well, can you promote my tour and get people who don't know I'm going on tour to look at this and see it?" And then you throw the dates up a year in advance. I think that was perfect.
oh shit, it was genius. It was completely genius. And I'll say this forever. That was the best promotion that they could have done. Because you have, a great wrestling match. Yeah, you put, this match on that could have easily been bad, but it was great. It got people excited. And then the very next night, you're like, oh, by the way, Bad Bunny's going on tour right after COVID. So I know you guys are all itching to get out of your house. You all miss live music. This guy just put on this great wrestling match, this energetic guy, also going on tour. Maybe check him out. I'll bet you this much right now. That tour is selling out.
I'll just say one last thing about this guy. If he decided to stop doing music and become full time, you know who would suffer?
Who?
Dominic Mysterio.
Yo, I swear to God, I had a Dominic Mysterio line cooked up. Yo, I swear to God, yo, I was like, yo, Dominic, you might want to call your mans up. Get some pointers or something, bro. How could you let this man outwork you? You have wrestling in your blood.
Literally.
Bro. I don't ever want to see a Dominic Mysterio match ever again.
So, you know what this is telling, and I think it was Lance Storm. I forgot who it was. I think it might have been Lance Storm on Twitter. If it wasn't, I'm sorry. I don't know who the fuck said it. But somebody said Bad Bunny in one match outperformed all these indie wrestlers who have been wrestling for years in just one match. He literally went out there and did everything that you need to do to put on a compelling match. He wasn't just doing crazy flips and dumb moves that don't make sense. He was putting together a story, and it was fucking nuts. And this has to be surreal for him because he's always been a lifelong wrestling fan, from what I've heard.
This is the equivalent of the It celebrity actress getting an OnlyFans account.
Yeah.
And ruining it for all the other workers.
Are you saying that that Bad Bunny's the Bella Thorne of WWE?
He might be.
Shout out to WWE for also understanding who was really invested in this match. I don't know if you all caught this, but every so often they would flash to the crowd. And if I had to guess who was on my TV screen, I would probably nail it on the head each time. It was. Go ahead, Drew.
I also want to say I'm sorry. I continue. I'll say it after you. I don't want to cut you off.
They understood that the Latin American presence was there live and front and center at Mania because they flashed to them every time something happened with Bad Bunny. They realized that there was a market there that was untapped, and they were not afraid to show them on TV.
So that's kind of what I want to touch on, because Andrade made it a point to basically point out the lack of representation of Latin Americans at WrestleMania. And so WWE went ahead and had their best match almost of the entire show. Two Hispanics. I don't want to say Hispanic wrestlers because Bad Bunny's not technically a wrestler. But two Hispanic gentlemen put on probably the best match of the night. That says a lot. And I know Andrade likes to throw salt now and, there's not a lot of Mexicans on the card and yada, yada, yada. But they kind of showed that, maybe it's you. Like, these guys just went out and had the best fucking match of the show. Damian Priest is over now. As long as they're consistent with him, he's going to be a star. Bad Bunny looked like $1 million. Earned every cent of whatever they paid him.
Well, hold on, Drew. Damian Priest is going to fall to the wayside now. This is all over.
I hope. I really hope not.
It's not Andrade. It's Charlotte. Charlotte's the reason for his downfall. Go ahead.
I really hope Damian Priest is not thrown by the wayside, because he looked good. But yeah, he was going on about no Mexican representation at WrestleMania. I mean, I hate to break it to him, but that kind of shows that not only is it there, but it's solid.
I mean, the Latin American community, the Hispanic community, the Mexican community, Mexican American community, they were represented. They were represented, and I think that WWE wanted to make it a point that, hey, we can cater to that base as well. And they showed fans with, there are a couple times where a fan was with his son, young son, who was watching the match. Like, that's important for you to grow up and say, I was there when this happened, or I saw when, this guy who was, fresh as can be, put on one of the best matches at WrestleMania. For you to tell your son that, or for you to even experience it yourself. That's uber important.
Yeah, because I mean, you'll probably see in 10 to 15 years, you'll see pro wrestlers coming into WWE saying, "Oh, I got in. I wanted to be a wrestler after I went to WrestleMania 37, and saw Damian Priest and Bad Bunny, go to work. This is going to be pivot. Like, this was a great fucking match. This match had no fucking business being that good at all.
It didn't. I was thoroughly impressed with the way that this match went from bell to bell. I did not hate it at all. So kudos to Bunny, kudos to Priest, kudos
to John Morrison taking that Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah,
because there's probably a lot of guys who probably would not have taken that from Bad Bunny.
Yep. But those are the guys that normally at the end of the day get the big payouts.
And those are the guys who are on TV every fucking week.
Yep.
Because if you're willing to play ball like that, you will be on live TV every week.
Yep. And hey, you gotta play the game. A lot of guys that want to play the game. Lashley played the game. Now look at him.
They're okay with their spot being lower in the card because they know if they play the game, they play it well, it will eventually rise up, and they will see, hey, you know what, this guy's a guy we can trust.
Right. Yep. Brief synopsis of Bleacher Report. They said, speaking of better than it had any right to be, Bad Bunny turned in one of the finest celebrity performances in WWE history on night one as he teamed with Damian Priest to defeat The Miz and John Morrison in a high-profile tag team match. The Latin rapper sold everything thrown at him and executed some great fiery babyface spots when the time called for it. The heels controlled the heat section of the match, which was enhanced by the audience's genuine like of the celebrity. Priest exploded into the match and joined Bunny for a pair of dives leading to the finish. A hotter match than expected, thanks to the overwhelmingly positive reaction for Bunny. It ranks right alongside Strowman McMahon for overperforming match of the night. 3.5 stars. I agree with everything they said except that last sentence. Clearly, at this point, if you had to rank, there's only 3 matches. I will put this as number 1. I'll put Lashley McIntyre 2. And then I will put Owens and AJ 3. Any other match before this, you're not even considering it.
Yeah, I will. Okay, so we're not counting what comes after this, correct?
No, up until this point.
Okay, yeah, no. Yeah, that's fair. Also, I don't agree with the stars at all.
Yeah, no. That's a 4. I would give that a 4.5 personally.
I was just about to say that. I would give
it a 4.5 personally, yo.
It gets that extra half just because of the fact that Bad Bunny had no business being as good as he was.
Yeah, when you're somebody who's never wrestled before and you put on a match like that, that's automatically like a 1.5 stars, automatically.
Like when they had all the bunny rabbits coming out, like all the guys dressed up as the Easter Bunny coming out, man, yeah. I was so ready. I'm like, I can't fucking wait for Tuesday. I can't fucking wait. And then after this match, I'm just like, God damn.
Right. You thought you were going to shit on it, but it shit on you.
I'm like, God damn, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Booker T's at ringside called the match too. Like, God damn.
Dude, when Booker T was out there, I'm like, all right, he's getting involved. Clearly, he's getting involved.
I'm glad he did.
Didn't even need him. I'm going back and watched it, not the whole thing, but most of it. I'm going back and watch it again. Just to make sure I missed something, but I didn't. And I'm genuinely happy for him. I went away happy. If I don't know anything else, I went away happy because of that match. So kudos to them for putting on a real good match. And I'm with Swerve. Miz, Bunny, SummerSlam. If you can do it, that's where it needs to be done.
That's your marquee match right there.
And then Miz goes over, of course. Hey, look, man, he's got to get his retribution. All right.
We can go talk about them.
Oh, yeah, we will. Mason T-Bar. Before I continue, another thing, I don't know if this is a credit to the WWE, but was there any reference to the 24/7 championship during WrestleMania night 1, night 2?
Didn't even see R-Truth out there.
Didn't even see it.
Oh no, there was. They were doing those little like advertisements in between with, I think it was Old Spice, with that Average Joe guy, because he won it from R-Truth. So that was the only mention of it.
But there was no like match, right?
No, it wasn't like a match. It was like oh, it's a commercial. Oh, the Average Joe guy won the 24/7 title. Tune into oldspice.com to see what happens next.
Oh, okay. Okay. But I mean, still, normally you would have had 4 segments of the jabronis running around in the back chasing for this belt. Didn't even see it. You put on a good show so you don't have to do this bullshit. I'm not even mad at that. All right. So up to this point, we got 3 contenders for match of the night. Let's talk about it. Maybe 4. Rollins and Cesaro. Tag match with Omos and AJ. Tag match with Bad Bunny and Priest. And then Lashley McIntyre. 4 good matches. Great matches. I'm not going to lie. Bravo WWE.
Night one was tag heavy too.
It was. It was.
I'm usually against that.
Then we get to the main event. Bianca Belair against Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship match. And I have said it once, and I will say it again. I'm going to quote my man, Swervy Lee. Sasha Banks gives everybody their best match. And this match did not fall short of that. Holy cow.
First and foremost, I'm not one to really talk about hair too often. Sasha Banks looked fine as fuck, okay?
She did. That she did. Now, I wanted to ask a question earlier in the pod, but I said I'll save it. And this is the match I was saving it for. On a scale of 1 through 10, 10 being very, very real, how real was that lash on the side of Sasha Banks' body? Thanks the whip heard around the world.
That was a 10, dude.
Can I just say, as the token white on this podcast, when they went on the entire like WrestleMania about, hey, this is the first main event with 2 black women, and they went on the entire time. Can we not whip one of them? Like can we not? Like that? I kind of pushed back. I was like, because I know we're gonna be talking about that, and can we not?
I don't even think it was you like that. Personally, I don't even think that was a correlation between the two. It was her hair is a weapon, which, by the way, I don't know why she didn't get DQ'd for using it. But
dude, that thing echoed. That thing sounded like a fucking gunshot.
Yeah,
it sounded like a kendo stick.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, I think that didn't have any correlation. But holy sheesh! I mean, that I don't know if she got an extra 25 racks to get that
fucking lash across her fucking side.
Oh my dude, you can see her bubbling up as she's getting pinned. When she gets out the ring, you can see it. I had to play it for my mom and my wife. I'm like, look at this. And because she thinks it's fake, so is my mom. Oh, that's makeup. I was
Listen,
like,
man.
no,
her name.
What happened? Did some stylist run out while she was celebrating and just started applying fucking silicone? Come on.
Her name was Sasha Lashley after that one.
Dude. Oh my God. Like, wow. That one right there, that was the pinnacle of all the spots in that match. Wow. I did not see or even think of that even occurring for her to use that.
So let me know if I'm alone in this sentiment. This should have been the first women's match to headline a WrestleMania.
Yes.
This was leaps and bounds better than the triple threat at 35. And this should have gone down in history as like the first women's match to headline a WrestleMania, because this is something to remember. Like, these two were fantastic in the ring. I shit on WWE's product a lot, but like for the last couple of WrestleManias, I've shit on them because they've deserved to be shit on. This one was solid, and this match was fucking solid.
Yeah, I mean, you know, one-on-ones are always better, in my opinion, than triple threat matches or fatal four ways, because you can tell more story and things like that with the two people you have in the ring. And you shouldn't just shoehorn somebody because they need a payday. So, yeah, I'm in full agreement there.
Also, shout out to Bianca's father for almost falling over the fucking ring barrier.
Oh, Papa Belair? Yeah, he
Yeah.
was. He was. Yeah.
Was her mom there too?
Yeah, her mom and her brother were at ringside with her dad, and then after the match, I think after they went off air, the one dude from Street Profits that she's either dating or engaged to came out and celebrated with her.
Okay, yeah, I just asked because I saw her in the ring when she was holding it up, her mouthing the words "mom" or "mama" or something like that. I thought that's what she was doing. All right, hell of a match from bell to bell.
I will say this to make sure that they don't cheapen this or anything. She has to hang on to this belt. I don't want to see her lose this belt at Backlash.
Well, this is where things get sticky, icky. Because we all know the conversation now becomes what's next. And I pray that this doesn't end things between Sasha and Bianca. Now, I know what you're saying. Don't give me fully reloaded Backlash, WrestleMania, whatever you're going to call it, pay-per-view. Don't give me the same matches. You're getting the same matches. You're getting 90% of the same matches.
Well, when it's the start of a program, sometimes it's okay. This is the start of a program between those two. So
I was going to say, I think this is okay for them to double back to this.
They can double back, that's fine. But she needs to hang on to that belt. Like, she can't just lose it the next pay-per-view.
No. But don't expect the same type of quality match because, I mean, it's WrestleMania. Now, if they do have a better match than this, I'm not mad at it. But I don't know if we're getting a trilogy treatment where she drops it because this could go on for 2-3 months, Drew. But if she beats her...
No. And listen, that's fine. That's fine. We all understand that WrestleMania is WrestleMania and that the Backlash match might not be as good. That's fine. We get it. And I think that all of us can understand that, hey, she's not going to be, killing herself every pay-per-view to up the ante. That's fine. But I also don't want to see her drop it the next month and then turn this into the Hot Potato Championship because that just cheapens it. And that's kind of why United States Intercontinental Championships are as shitty as they are.
Well, I think that's what we possibly be getting. That's my whole point.
And that's how come Charlotte has her 13 title reigns.
I think this does become hot potato between the two. Maybe even Becky Lynch. I don't know. Because you have to worry about that. Because we already know there's 3 players on Raw now. You got to put 3 players on SmackDown. You have to marry each other. Double booking. That's kind of like what this company loves to do after WrestleMania. They love to double book.
They love to copy homework.
So if Becky is the 3rd woman involved after May 16th, you are definitely playing hot potato with the championship. Now, she might keep it at the next pay-per-view, but believe you me, that shit is moving hands at the next one. Because I'll say this again, I was happy that Kofi won, but I knew exactly what the hell was going to happen after he won it. I knew it wasn't going to be a long reign. I knew it was really for nothing. And now he's losing the first-time wrestlers on the next WrestleMania or 2 years later. I hate it because there should be longevity after Mania. 2-3 months. I mean, don't give me a month, but that's what's going to happen.
So here's the thing, though. It all depends on what kind of champion you are, too. The problem with Kofi was really good chasing that belt. He made the fans believe, man, Kofi might actually get this belt. Oh my gosh, we've been waiting so long to see Kofi get this belt. And, that chase was something to behold. Problem is, once you get your hands on that belt, then what? Problem with Kofi was he couldn't make it happen. Yeah, he was champion, but it almost seemed like an Intercontinental Championship when he held it. He was facing, guys who were, main event guys. He was facing guys like Randy Orton and shit. But the problem is, it didn't feel like he was world champion. Nothing changed. He was still doing the same shtick with New Day. Nothing had changed to show that he was the world champion. You have to actually present yourself as a champion. Otherwise, it's nothing. That's why Bobby Lashley, when you see how Bobby Lashley is, he's Bobby Lashley, but as world champion, he's the fucking guy of the Hurt Business. He's the boss. He's, larger than fucking life. Literally the almighty.
So what you're saying is they did with Kofi is Kofi was that guy who got on his boat. Not got on his boat, but you know what I'm trying to say. He crossed the bridge, but he never burned it. Bobby Lashley crossed the bridge and burned his bridge. It's like, I'm here. I ain't got no plan B.
It's almost like, man, I can't wait to get the new PS5. I'm going to get the PS5. I'm going to get it. Can't wait to get it. Can't fucking wait to get it. And you get the PS5, and the first thing you do is pop in a PS4 disc. It's yeah, you finally have it now. But now what? Like, now that you are the champion, you have to do champion shit. You can't just do your same shtick that you're doing when you're chasing the belt. You have to present yourself as a champion. You have to be a champion. You look at somebody like Triple H, when he was just chasing the championship, when he was just with DX, you could definitely tell a difference. He was, wearing the pants. He was running around with DX. Yeah, suck it. As soon as he became champion, though, you could tell I'm front and center. Well, I'm now with DX. It's Triple H and DX now.
Playtime was over.
It was literally, yeah, exactly. But that's a question that I wanted to ask. I'm glad that you brought it up, gentlemen. We are in sync tonight. I'm not the Joey Fatone though. I'll be JT. Drew, you're more like the Lance Bass, but we'll.
Wow, you suck one dick, and all of a sudden.
Lance was the man back then. Lance had holes back then, dog. What you mean?
Which one had Jessica Simpson?
Well, I
think you're thinking of 98 Degrees.
Well, man, said Kiss 98.5 sounded the same, man, from Born to Do Today, right? We don't know what kind of champion Bianca Belair is going to be. Do we?
We don't, and that's going to determine her reign. That's going to be a big part. She can't act the same as champion as she did when she was chasing.
Well, the good thing about her is she wasn't chasing that long, and she doesn't have a prior super long history on at least the main roster of something that not many people still know who she is. So, I don't think that stigma you're talking about is going to really affect her too much.
Yeah, because they say the belt doesn't make the person makes the belt. That is very true.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a champion, you need to present yourself as such. That's important.
You want to walking around in suits?
I'm not saying that, but like Edge is a good example. Edge when he was just holding on to the briefcase, or he was, not like the champion yet. You could definitely tell that he was okay being in the mid card. Like he was.
I would 100% get what you're saying, but I don't think the same rules apply to the women.
And that's why I flip flop so much.
It does not even like any kind of sexist comment like that. I just don't think it applies to the women when you look at how
Let me give you an example of the women. Becky Lynch. When Becky
Okay.
Lynch had that belt, there was a different mood in that fucking place.
Yep.
Only because of what happened. All the other times it would have been the same. They
But
only have
once it clicked how to be a top star, once everything clicked for her as far as like how to be a main event attraction, she knew what she had to do to to hold on to that belt. And when did she lose that belt? She only lost that belt because she got pregnant. She held on to that belt for over a year.
Listen, man, you born by the semen and you die by the semen.
So if she comes back and if she retains the knowledge of how to be a main event player, yeah, she's probably gonna take that belt right the fuck back.
Oh man, sorry, man.
I thought nobody heard that one.
Everybody heard that one, bro. We decided to respond 18 seconds later. Because the first 17 seconds we just shook our heads. And now circle of life, that she got a kid now, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, I want Sasha to be champion. I really do. But I really want Bianca to be champion. This is tough. It's tough to have her lose the belt at Mania. I mean, if they play hot potato with it and it gets ridiculous, yeah, then I'll be upset. But I would prefer if they're going to have 2 or 3 more pay-per-view matches, DQ, or have them lose where it's a no contest, and then you get a payoff later. Maybe we have Money in the Bank, or if you can. I don't want it to drag into SummerSlam, but again, aside from WrestleMania, that's the biggest pay-per-view that the company has to offer. If you can somehow drag it out to there, I wouldn't hate that either. But SmackDown, SmackDown, I think I said this last week, is the A show. I think that's why Raw was such shit. But, SmackDown, I think from top to bottom, you've got some very important decisions to make in regard to your championship picture. I think this one is right up there with the WWE Championship, or the Universal Championship, rather. Maybe number one.
I have Sasha and Charlotte in the same realm as of. You remember when Shawn Michaels came and he was first there? He was getting all the, holding the belt and have all the WWE title opportunities. And then when he had his back injured, he came back, and he did win a championship after that. But his title shots and his title reigns were far and few in between, if at all.
Yeah.
But he was still putting on clinics and classic matches and helping build people. I think that's the next step for like the Charlotte and the Sasha. They don't have to really have the belt anymore.
Yeah, but see, Sasha never really had the belt like that.
She had many title reigns. She just didn't hold it long enough. Like I said, it's not like she shouldn't have it anymore. I'm just saying now you don't necessarily like you've won your top prize, what, 6, 7 times?
She's a 6-time champion?
She's got to be either 6 or 5. Her and Charlotte alone passed it about 5 or 6 times back and forth.
Up.
Now,
let me see.
Bailey needs some more rub. Because she had a long reign, but not I don't think it was multiple. But I think that there could be in that realm where, you're putting on the classic matches, but you're losing or you're coming close and that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, there's not enough other talented women to kind of do this with. So I don't know. They're in a real tough place. Maybe they need to call some more NXT women up and get the ball rolling on them. But
no, you're right. 5-time Raw, 1-time SmackDown for Sasha.
Yeah, so it's like
it doesn't seem like it though to me, or am I tripping?
Well, it doesn't, because if you, like I said, if you group her series up with Charlotte, that was like in a span of 3 months.
Okay.
Like 4 or 5 title reigns. and then the other ones kind of came later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I said, I mean, it's not the last time they should have it, but you've already done what you could do a bunch of times. It's like something they have to make something else for the women since if there isn't going to be another belt, something has to be, I don't want to say the chase, but it's got to be something else there.
Yeah. 4-star match according to Bleacher. I am gonna go and say, along with the Buddy match, this is a 4.5, maybe 4.55 to give it the nod for match of the night. But I think that's it, gentlemen. Any votes for match of the night?
I would have to say the Bad Bunny match was match of the night. My personal opinion.
First,
Hmm. Hmm. Trying to think of which one had me the most entertained.
and look, while you're thinking, this is the beauty of putting together one of the greatest cards they've put together in a long time. At least night one is concerned. You've got a lot of matches to choose from that you can really walk away and say, I enjoyed that match the most. And I can tell you why.
Yeah. I'll go with AJ and Omos versus New Day.
Wow. 3 different favorite matches of the night. That's crazy. I don't think we've ever had that on this podcast where there wasn't a unison or they came down to 2 matches.
Yeah, and my pick, just so we're clear, I'm not saying my pick was the best wrestling clinic or anything like that. I'm just going where I was the most entertained. That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
I replayed that match versus most of the others. Like more than the others, I should say.
Yeah. Shout out to those backbreakers that he's doing too. Those are nice. What do you say?
I see that.
All right. Night dose. WrestleMania 37. How are you gentlemen feeling at this point? Optimistic, enthusiastic, high hopes for night 2?
I had high hopes after night 1. I definitely had high hopes.
He said had.
Well, I walk in swerves. Now, mind you, night 1 I probably walked in at 7:59. Night 2, I walked in about 7:30, 7:45. He said, "Yo, guess what? They announced match 1, Fiend and Orton." I'm like, in my mind, oh shit, but then that oh shit went away so quick because there is no way this is going to be a 20-minute match. No way. This is going to be something quick. And they did open the match with Fiend and Orton.
Can we talk about that really quick though?
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna talk about that way more than just real quick.
No. Before we even go into the match, I do not like the fact that they give away what's the first match. If you're, especially if you're there, and you're there live, part of the anticipation of sitting at an event, especially WrestleMania, is not knowing what they're going to give you first. When you just tweet it out that Fiend and Orton is up first, I start to get a sour taste in my mouth, and that's what happened.
Well, let me ask you though: would you rather be mad that they announced it, or would you rather be mad and go, "Ugh, they're starting with this"?
I mean, let me have my opportunity to say, they start with this. Don't ruin it before I get there, because that might, if I'm not looking for Fiend, or that might say, hey, you know what, I can show up to this late because they're starting with this BS, or I need to hurry to get there because they're starting with this. But then, if they're starting with a match like that, let's be honest, that was one of the, I guess you could say, highlights, or it was perceived to be one of the highlights on night 2. So because you think something's going to happen. So when we talk about the match and see what happened, you're like, man, I could have stayed home. If there was, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel slighted. So yeah, don't tell me what it is. Let me be surprised. You already got my money. I'm already sitting in the seat. You don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying?
According to you still on the highway. Trying to figure
Yeah.
out terminal. Nia Jackson, then the Ace of Spades opened it up. All right. We are going to talk about this probably longer than the match happened. Just to let you know what the overall master thought of this, Bleacher Report gave this star rating a dud. And I think this is the first time I agree with Bleacher Report all night. Match starts, and well, not even the match, but the entrance starts. So Orton comes out first, and then we get Alexa Bliss. And then we get Alexa Bliss winding up the Jack in the Box. And
hang on, it's not a Jack in the Box, sir. It's a box-like structure.
Box-like structure. I forgot that name is patented. I forgot. I can't say that.
You fucking know. Vince McMahon was in his ear saying, "The box-like structure, goddammit."
The box-like structure. You're right. So she winds this up, and Bray comes out. Same music. Crowd goes wild. Did you notice what he did when he got into the ring?
He jumped.
Well, yeah. So he jumped.
Oh yeah, the tribute for Brody Lee.
Yes, I didn't catch it at first. I
Yeah,
had
me
to
either.
get educated on Twitter. And I went back. I was like, oh, okay.
This is,
Because
by the way, I believe his first match since he passed away.
Exactly. Yep. So yeah, I know I didn't catch this with you, Swerve. I
didn't catch it either.
Yeah.
But that even adds more insult to this whole thing. But go ahead.
Yeah, he did the Kiss tribute and was it Hey.
Yeah.
So remember you heard him make a noise and I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a new character development.
Oh, I thought he just said Yowie Wowie really loud. That's all he said?
No, yeah, he said yeah. So pay tribute to Luke Harper, Brody Lee, John Huber. This match after that was weird. I am not a fan of no selling. Why are you no selling so fast, so soon? You make Bray look strong, but then he looks weak at the end. But that was my thought while I was watching it.
You make Bray look stupid.
Well, today I watched some type of long, drawn-out theory on this entire match that made me go, okay, but you had to go through all of that just for this?
You really went down a YouTube rabbit hole today, huh?
Yes, I did. I'm literally watching Dark right now with Miro, and I don't know who this ham and egger is. And you know he's a ham and egger because he's got on the Hanes black trunks with black knee pads and black Adidas. Yeah, but I watched it. It was very interesting, and I'll talk about it once we all have an opinion on the match. But after the no selling that Bray Wyatt did against Orton, there was a point in the match where Alexa is sitting on the box-like structure, and
God damn it, Alexa, stop!
And I don't know what the hell was going on, but someone likened it to a squid basically relaxing itself.
Busting that ink all over her face. Listen, if I gotta praise one thing, I'll praise her costume in that part because that looked great. But I just don't know what the hell that was for.
Drew, yeah, do you know what the hell that was, man?
I don't know what it was for, but I do know who designed it. It's actually the same guy who designed the Fiend mask, Tom Savini. But I don't know what it's for.
What is he, like Wes Craven's brother or something?
No, he's a special effects artist.
He did the Freddy mask.
I thought, what the hell's going on? I'm totally weirded out by all this black shit on her face. And Bray seemed to lose his way, or the Fiend seemed to lose his way in the match, to where Orton was able to turn him around for an RKO and 1-2-3 him and roll out the ring. And he made note of this on Raw, where he's saying, I think twice, where he said, "This is done between me and them. I'm done with that." And I'm
Yeah, he
glad
did.
it is.
So the conclusion of this match got me to thinking, what the hell was Seth Rollins' problem? Why couldn't he beat this guy?
Well, would you like to hear my theory that I heard?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, this goes back to the Sister Abigail match between Orton and Bray, when it was Bray Wyatt, where there was a reference made during that about Sister Abigail and about how Sister Abigail Orton burned the house up, how she died. And now Sister Abigail's spirit was living through Bray. And when Bray was, let me get this right, when Bray saw that she died, there was a now monster growing inside of him. And this monster didn't let itself out until he became the Fiend. So when he became the Fiend, Sister Abigail's spirit was living through Bray as the Fiend. So when the Fiend got burnt alive by Randy Orton, it was supposed to be the Fiend dying, quote unquote. But the spirit of Sister Abigail still lived. Before he got burned alive, when he recruited Alexa, it was him seeing the embodiment of his sister in her. Because I guess they were supposed to look alike. Because if you remember, there was a girl, you couldn't see her face, but she had long black hair. And he's saying she resembled Alexa Bliss. So when he finally got her into the Wyatt family slash, or not the Wyatt family, with the Fiend shit and the Bray Wyatt Funhouse shit, it was him saying, "This is my reminder of my sister," or Sister Abigail. So when he got burned alive, the spirit didn't die, but the outer body did. The sister transformed into Alexa Bliss. And the long and short of it is, she is now the Fiend, and he is now back to being Bray Wyatt. Because they even encompass Raw, where she had her own segment, where now she has her own doll called Lily. And then they went to his segment, where he acts like he's got something to hide or he's not acting himself. And it was just very involved. And I'm like, okay, this is a lot for a 6-minute match. That made no sense.
The Conjuring, huh? So some fan online gave this more thought than the writers did, I see.
Pretty much. And that's exactly what movie he said that this reminded them of. And that's why the shit was coming out of her head.
Mm-mm-mm.
So very thought out. Don't know if it's real.
So Randy's the hero. All this time.
I guess it is a movie.
He's
I
the one
guess
we should have been
so.
cheering for.
I guess damn so. I thought the storytelling was bad. Could have did it better than that. I mean, if you're really invested in years of buildup with this and you like it, congrats. But I can tell you most of us hate it. But my question is, let's say Fiend went over on this. Now what?
He gets a win over Orton at least. Work out
Yeah,
the details later.
yeah, but I mean, what details? Like,
He can move on to some other opponent. I mean, I'm tired of seeing him in Orton. I don't know about y'all.
You bring him back to kill him again, or you let him just keep running amok over everybody?
He was never running amok. Let's go over his opponents. Who has he beaten?
He beat Seth, Goldberg.
He beat Goldberg? No, he didn't beat Goldberg.
No,
Goldberg
beat him.
Oh, you're right. Or not Goldberg.
Did he really beat Seth? Or
Did
did that turn into a no contest?
No, he would then turn around and beat him.
Yeah,
he did.
Did he beat
Okay.
Braun?
I don't count that swamp match stuff. I mean, if you can, if you want, but I don't count it. So Seth, what, Daniel Bryan maybe, but he was not even a Fiend then, I don't think.
Finn Balor.
Okay, this is going back 2 years. He has 3 wins, but none of them are Orton, right? He's fought Orton like 4 times.
But my whole thing is, though, if he did beat him at Mania, then what are you gonna have him do next? You're not gonna have a feud with Orton again.
I mean, that's what the writers will decide. But again, a new opponent is always welcome, even though it won't be great. This whole thing just doesn't play out right in the wrestling ring. All the other stuff surrounding it is great, but when you got to get it into the ring, it doesn't translate well. That's been my whole beef with the Fiend from the very beginning.
Right, I agree. I'm agreeing with you on that. My whole thing is, okay, he won. And if he beat Orton, he would no-sell the shit out of any move he would try to do. So what now? You're going to make him no-sell against another opponent?
I mean, I know you keep bringing up no-sell, but it isn't exactly working when he gets beat by one move. Like, I don't care about the no-sell part. Like, it doesn't even have any effect on it anymore. You know what I mean? So I don't know why he's even. He should just sell the moves, and maybe that'll be more believable.
But then he's not menacing. He's off as a monster.
I mean, who all feels he's menacing on this podcast? Raise your hand.
I mean, we're all. I don't think that we is that. But for me, there's no greater later with him. You kind of bust your load.
Exactly, and they ruined that a long time ago.
Yeah, but I think we're saying the same thing. But I think you just said it earlier, where you knew, like, yo, this character's not going to go very far, very fast, because once you shoot your load on him and you bring him out the gate like gangbusters on the first inception of him being introduced, and this man just won't go down to anything, you kind of showing your hand.
So here's the thing. This gimmick could have worked because, I mean, it worked for The Undertaker. The only thing is A, you need to do it in squash match style. So basically, you need to feed jobbers to him. And B, he should not have been in the world title picture right off the bat. That kills it.
Also, I was going to give a little shred of hope in this match had he not shed off his outfit, but I understand he probably couldn't wrestle in it right before the match.
Yeah, that part.
I did think it was pretty cool that he, healed from all the burns. Like, I thought that was, pretty cool. I mean, he had a great entrance for WrestleMania, whatever. But yeah, then the bell rang and it's like, okay, this whole shtick of I'm not selling any of the moves, that works in squash match style. It does not work against main event guys or guys like Orton or guys,
and Drew, The only thing I'm saying about the no sell part is it doesn't work if you're going to have me get beat by the opponent in one finisher. Because
Yeah.
to me, Randy Orton should be the one that's no selling.
But I think
You know what I'm
so.
saying?
But that's a part of the fan theory that I was spewing off earlier, because what they were saying is that Fiend. I don't even know. Maybe I messed up, but I don't know if I mentioned this. But that's how easy it was for him to lose, because they're saying that Fiend recognized that he didn't have the power anymore, but Alexa did. Alexa got the power mid-match. That's
Uh,
so easy for him to go down.
well, there wasn't any kind of indicator or object to tell me that, like, couldn't he have lost his mask mid-match or,
I think the indicator was her sitting on top of the box-like structure with the black shit oozing from her head. I think that was
okay. Okay, so then I'll say this. Bray has never had any goo on him to let me know that was the source of his power. You see what I'm saying? There's a disconnect.
no. This is something also. It was a lot. It was like a 10-minute video. Remember when Orton was coughing up on the blood? And what color the
Yep.
blood was? It was
Mm-hmm.
black. So that
Because
part, I was like, okay. Because remember, if Alexa is now the Fiend, and the Fiend was not on TV when she did that to Orton, that was her power.
all right. So I'm gonna if I'm gonna entertain this at all,
Yes.
um, why is Alexa Bliss not champion?
Because her character is designed to not even think about a championship.
What
It's
does
bigger.
what does her character want then? World domination?
I mean, what did the Joker want? What did Bane want? What does a villain does not want to be a hero?
What if Randy Orton is a new Fiend?
No.
He made that clear. On Raw.
You sound like you didn't watch Raw.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, no. Based on what happened yesterday, you know. Mm-mm.
Okay, so if he's stripped of his powers, or he never had them in the first place, is that this whole reason I'm supposed to believe that he's been doo-doo this whole time? Because he's gonna
Well,
be
no,
even worse now.
according to the story, he did have the power, but when he got burnt alive by Randy Orton, and they were saying he was supposed to die.
All right. Okay. So he did have it, got defeated with it. What good is he now?
So this is what. So this is. I think it's a character separation between those two, between Bliss and Fiend, or Wyatt, because remember, not to go into Raw, but he came out for the Firefly Funhouse, and it was a normal, "Hey guys, welcome to Firefly Funhouse," and we haven't seen that in months.
Hmm.
But then when Alexa did hers, it was a little bit more darker, a little bit more eerie. She has her own doll now. Bray was the preacher, and Alexa was totally something different. So again, they are. When I use the word slow build, I mean they are going a Walker at Darien or at Delaware Park slow, trying to walk
AEW,
like a
they
circle.
going AEW status with this one?
Dude, this is a slow build. You are strap in because you're here for a while. If this guy is right, we'll see. But I don't know. Strap in.
I'm just
Um,
curious. Do you mind putting who this guy is in the chat?
yeah, I'll go back to it. I'll put it in. I'll put the link of the video in there.
So I gotta see what kind of flavor Kool-Aid you've been drinking.
Oh man, not the Jim Jones one. Moving on to the culmination of the tag team turmoil. Not gonna lie, this match got a lot of cheers. People were cheering on Natty.
No, Natty was not the one being cheered on.
Tamina, I mean.
Tamina was the star of this fucking match.
I'm surprised. So, spoiler alert. Swervy and I watched this match with Abby. So Abby made some funny points. And I think this was this match where he said, wouldn't it be funny if the fans chanted, "You still got it," during a point match where it was going south? And I thought that was funny. But the crowd loved Tamina, even though Nia and what's her face got the win. I think that we can move on briefly from this, but I think that
yeah, we can.
I think Nia and what's her face? Oh my god, Shayna Baszler. I think they are living that tag team central. Those belts were made for them. I don't think they're going anywhere in a while.
Oh, I do hope that they go somewhere, and that's NXT UK.
But you know what's bad about this whole thing is they still don't have no chemistry.
They don't. They don't. Oh man, that match was terrible. Anyway, moving on. One of the better matches from both nights, in my opinion. Not the best, but one of the better. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Thoroughly entertained by this match. And not for outside antics. Not for the pre-match vignette. But man, this was mat wrestling at its finest. Give me suplexes. Give me slams. Give me all of that. You got me glued in.
Only slams, baby.
Come on, man. Look, I said it before. I am a fan of Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, to me, is a good wrestler. Good superstar. This was poetry in motion. I love this match from start to finish, even with the Logan Paul post-match stuff that they did.
Those two never have a bad match, but I don't know if you caught it, but at one point, Logan Paul definitely looked like he had fallen asleep.
See, like I told you.
No, he didn't reacting. He was reacting to the move.
All right.
He looked bored as fuck.
I thought the same thing. When they shot over to him a couple of times, I said he is not caring about this at all.
How is it that the celebrity on night one made such a positive impact, and the celebrity on night two just fucking killed the mood?
Yeah. I mean, even besides that little look of disinterest, I still think this was a hell of a match.
Oh yeah, not taking anything away from the match. I mean, it's it's the law. I guess the diminishing returns. They fought 72 times since I've known about them, right? I'm very aware of what they can do. So I'm not gonna say I'm not impressed, but I've seen them do it before. It was a great match, but I'm tired of seeing them wrestle. So this did nothing for me.
Well, yeah. He ended up studying Sami Zayn to get the victory. Kevin Owens won. And then after that, I think they were trying to make it a callback to where he beat Nate Robinson, how he was laid out in the ring. Do you see that, Drew?
I didn't notice that.
He even tweeted it.
Yeah, he tweeted it, yeah.
Where he's laid out like Nate Robinson. He had Nate Robinson's picture above his on the picture that he tweeted out, saying something like ironic or something like that.
Showed.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other thoughts on this match?
Match was good, but Logan Paul's a fucking chode.
Oh,
And
wait.
shout out to well, I'm sorry, what?
We forgot something. Let's go back to night one. I can't remiss this, Drew. You're gonna pop. I'm gonna introduce it. I'm gonna let you have it. 1, 2, 3. No, my gosh, she kicked out.
What? Oh.
What did you make of that? Because I missed it when it happened.
Was that Mago Cole?
Yeah, MAGA. Yeah, that was him.
I think it's time for Cole to go. I think they got rid of the wrong commentator. When they got rid of Tom Phillips, I think they got rid of the wrong one. Cole's got to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think they did. I was watching it with Swerve. Swerve said he didn't see it. I didn't see it or hear it, but I went back to the playback.
Yeah, you guys know me. I don't pay attention to the commentary team that much anyway.
Yeah, he definitely tried to rain on Bianca's parade by saying she kicked out. So I wanted to go back to that to say this. This match was another blunder that Michael Cole did. I don't know if you guys caught this, but there was, I forgot what move it was that he did, but he called it a Blue Thunder Bomb. And Corey Graves was there to say, no, that's not what this is, Cole. I'm not going to let you get killed like you got killed on night one. So I was like, they're paying attention. They're aware. That's funny that they would even make reference to that.
Oh, I mean, your phone got blow up the moment you do something like that if you're Michael Cole. So, yeah, he's got to be aware.
Yeah. But, yeah, I thought that was a good match between those two. But another botch between Michael Cole and the announce team. But it is what it is. Moving on. We got Matt Riddle against my man Sheamus. This one got 3 3/4 stars of a match. Shout out to Sheamus for kicking my man shit in. I don't like Matt Riddle as a wrestler. I hate his gimmick. He's a good wrestler. I just can't stand his gimmick. Y'all know how I feel about Sheamus, so I was not mad.
Also, one thing that I was mad at that we didn't talk about last week was the fact that they now CGI birds flying out of his ass during the his intro.
Yes, and we did see that at the pay-per-view, and I said, "What the fuck is this?" It looked crazy.
I guess maybe because he's so high, he's with the birds.
Well, yeah, I noticed he has a tattoo of a mushroom on his left or right rib too.
Yeah.
Which
and RVD gave him rolling papers.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me. That's his shtick now.
Not something I'd ever think I thought I would see in WWE, despite all the TNA. Never thought I would see that.
I wonder if that's why he's losing now. Because he's making, this is what you want to do? Great. Sorry.
But yeah, this was hard hitting. This match, they were not pulling punches.
Sheamus is one of the definitions of smash mouth. So his matches are going to be like this. But yeah, this was his consolation prize for it was a great, probably I think it was the best finish that I can, if you just look at finish and finish alone for an ending of a match, it was probably the best one out of both nights.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Okay. Did you have anything else to say about that match before going to the next one?
Yeah, I do want to also make note of the blunder that happened there too. He almost killed himself and Matt Riddle.
Oh, with that suplex on the top rope,
Yeah.
Hey,
where
I'm going
they both slipped down, then they just
now.
pretended it never happened.
Yeah.
He had the awareness and he had the footing to say, okay, let me get the hell out of this. It wasn't going well. Don't need that happening. All right. Drew's favorite match of the night, y'all. The Nigerian drum fight for the Intercontinental title. Big E and Apollo Crews. Bleacher Report gave this one 3 stars. I think there are 2 stars too many.
I mean, they had drums around the fucking ring, but nobody used the drum. So,
Ooh,
I
that's the
mean,
It's important to note this match had 2 rules going in, and one of them had to be broken.
what was the rules?
Oh well, Big E came out with the live entrance, and Apollo is the inventor of the match type, so they usually lose it.
Ah, I do like how, first and foremost, I look up and they're just beating the shit out of each other with canes. I'm like, okay, I guess that's what this is. Um, so it's essentially a TLC match, but instead of chairs, we have drums. I do like how we're differentiating the members in New Day. So you have um, Kofi and um, Xavier on one show, and they have Big E doing his own thing, and it's like, okay, we want these guys separate, and we want you to know that they're no longer part of the same faction, and to do so, both of them will have their WrestleMania matches end when a former member of Raw Underground choke slams them.
Could I say that this was like a match I wasn't necessarily looking forward to, but it also let me down. Like looking back, I was like, this is the one that probably was the least impactful.
This one definitely. I mean, I didn't know what to expect of the match other than a squash because I didn't think it would go long.
Wait, you thought it was gonna be a squash?
I thought he was gonna squash Apollo.
Oh, you thought Big E was gonna squash it? Wow.
Yeah, because I mean, what the hell? He's not better than Big E.
Mm.
But boy, was I wrong. And I mean, Apollo Crews, I think, is one championship away from being Triple Crown.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
They are not giving up on this dude, yo.
so Capo Daco, I think was his name in Raw Underground. They're probably gonna give him a new name.
I thought it was like Baba
Um,
Day or something.
he came out and apparently dressed in a military garb, so I guess he's supposed to be like a Nigerian officer or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Dabo Kato.
Yeah,
Dabakato, DABBA hyphen KATO.
Ah, avocado. Okay.
formerly of Raw Underground.
This just tells me they don't have anything else for Big E, and this pushes the feud between them for at least another month or two.
Yeah, I mean, he had already lost what 2, 3 matches to Big E, so if he didn't win this one, it was gonna be what was all that for?
And you know what? When we previewed this, I should have saw that. I should have said, why are they putting this match together even though Big E already beat him like 3 or 4 times?
I like how
But
Walle's like, hey, he has to win if I'm playing him out, and WWE's like, you don't book the shows, pal.
well, yeah, I never once thought that that was gonna be, you know, Bible. I'm just, I guess the only shocker here was that uh, Apollo had somebody, you know, he'll have somebody under his tutelage now. So
Again, SmackDown, another championship that I'm looking at saying, okay, what's next? Because, I mean, you could continue to feud with them, which they probably will do. But now, how do you do it? How do you make it interesting? Because now you got your boy who involved himself in the match. There's no way he's not going to make it to the next championship defense. He's going to be there.
I don't think he's gonna be treated the way Omos might be treated. He might just be a big jobber for Big E to take out at either a pay-per-view or on Raw, maybe, and then go back to Apollo. Like I
I
don't.
wouldn't be a bit surprised if Big E had his sights set a little higher.
I'm not saying he won't, but the way he dropped his title versus the way Bobby Lashley dropped his U.S. title are two different animals. And Big E got, even though he cheated, he got pinned for it. So I don't know if you could just say, "I'm going out to the Universal Championship now." After being
Wouldn't be the first time going to happen.
Yeah, I think Big E's looking for revenge. But Drew, I hear where you're coming from. Perfect spot to put him in, where you don't know what's going on with the Universal, and he dropped this belt. Put those two together, but I think it's a little tad bit early for that because I think he's got unfinished business with Apollo. Moving on, Raw Women's Championship, Asuka against Rhea Ripley. This match got 3.25 stars according to Bleacher Report. I probably end up giving this one a 2.25. This is one of my least favorite matches.
I thought it was pretty good. I actually, I was on record saying it was going to be a squash. I thought that Rhea should just went out there and dominated her to really make a statement for Raw. But well, after seeing, I know we gonna probably breeze through Raw, but after seeing what happened on Raw, I was like, okay, so they letting you know who they still care about. So whatever. But but it was, as far as a wrestling match is concerned, I didn't have any complaints about it. It was a good match.
Rhea comes out with the live singer.
The chalkboard.
What's that?
The live chalkboard.
Yeah. Singing her favorite song, "This Is My Vocal Range." So she is singing her out, and I turn to my girlfriend and I go, "Ooh, this is fucking awful." And mind you, I enjoy that kind of music, and I fucking hated that. So that tells you how good it was. Definitely a 1 out of 10 as far as the live performances of the night.
At least Rhea knew the words to her song.
Yes, she did.
Never heard Triple H singing "It's All About the Game" when he come out.
The girl, I don't know who the girl is, but she got compared to the DX band. And I said, you gotta get a DX band a little bit more credit than that. But my man was hyped every time I saw him.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Drew, before we move on, the world has to know. Did you buy a new television?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's just I've just been like I said, I got the COVID shot and I was out for the weekend.
I thought in my heart of hearts that you were getting the TV for Mania. Let's ask. Okay.
Well, he didn't get one because Goldberg wasn't in attendance.
Well, yeah, true that. Yeah, this match, dude, I didn't really care for it. I mean, I do like Asuka. I do like Rhea. I don't know why this didn't work for me. One negative thing too was this is a one finisher finish.
I think it didn't work for you because, like Drew would say, there was no build.
There really wasn't a build. This was supposed to be Asuka and Charlotte. And the fact that Charlotte was pulled at the last minute and Rhea was just thrown in,
yeah,
that's why it didn't do it justice.
This needed a build. I mean, for one, because it was those two who never really, clashed on a big stage, and for two, it was a big stage. So everything has to have a build for a big stage, just about. So
I think that this would have been a lot better. If you're not going to build it, if you don't have the time to build it, that's fine. What you can do is have Charlotte go out a week or two before WrestleMania, and now Asuka doesn't have an opponent. She comes out and she's like, "There's no one to face me," and then Rhea makes her debut. That at least you have the pop, you have the excitement, and then you can get something going. We knew about this match 2 weeks in advance, and there was just no connection.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And people wanted to cheer Rhea, but she was, acting heely. So I guess they were confused by that. I don't know.
Okay.
We doing another 3-hour pod, huh?
At least.
Last match of the night. Roman Reigns against Daniel Bryan and Edge. First things first, off the bat. Swerve, you remember what I told you about what I noticed?
No.
That Edge got a better pop than Daniel Bryan.
Oh, yeah.
Where I thought it was going to be the other way around.
Daniel Bryan, I think everyone was excited about Edge and Roman Reigns. Daniel Bryan added to this match actually had the opposite effect as it did at WrestleMania 30.
Yeah. I mean, I think they were afraid that one-on-one wouldn't work too well. And I don't think they thought that they needed Daniel Bryan for fan support. I think that they needed him for just, making the match go longer.
When you had Edge flat out say that, Roman Reigns is the Samoan Edge. You started out by coming through the crowd. You used the spear. You started in a stable of 3 guys.
You had a live sex show on Raw. Oh, no, he didn't do that.
You are the Samoan Edge. You've modeled your entire career after me. And now I'm coming to WrestleMania to take what's mine.
I thought that was interesting that 2 weeks before the match, he said that. Would have rather him kind of open with that, but it's all good. I will argue this was the best match at WrestleMania. It had everything you wanted. Big fight feel. Big spots. Nice finish. It was it was the right amount of time. They didn't spend too much time on this match. You also got outside stuff. You got a nice spot with the double crippled crossface. I thoroughly enjoyed this match, and I'm not mad at who won.
I also like this match a lot, but I want to ask a question here. The way, because during this match, or I think a little bit before, Mac was asking me some questions, and I wasn't sure what they were about, but then he told me they were about DraftKings. And we were talking about, interference, weapons, all that kind of stuff. Who gets a pin? And based on how Roman Reigns pinned both opponents, you usually see like a big guy, like a really big guy do that, right? Not to say that Roman isn't a big guy, but he's not like your typical big guy. But so the way that he put Edge on top of Daniel Bryan and covered them both, do you think that that's an exclamation point on this story?
Oh, yeah.
Drew?
Oh.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I couldn't quite hear the question.
So the way Roman Reigns pinned both Edge and Daniel Bryan at the same time, do you think that he put an exclamation point on this particular story?
Yes. I think that now you have this where, you might have Daniel Bryan saying, Daniel Bryan can't really come back and say, I deserve another shot. Or, Edge can't come back and say, well, I deserve another shot. Those two might feud with each other because, the other one was involved in the match and took away from them. But I think Roman's kind of moved on from both those guys. And honestly, I'm happy that Roman did it, and it wasn't something like Goldberg did it to two guys or something like that. You had a top star who's a a main card guy who's there every week doing that, just putting the exclamation point on two guys and saying, "Okay, what's next?"
Okay, so you both said yes, and Drew, you also said yourself earlier that Edge was there every week on SmackDown, leading up to this. Do you think that the one-on-one contest between Edge and Roman is not deserving?
It might be, but down the line. Here's the thing: Edge can't sit there and go, "I was screwed out of this because Daniel Bryan got involved in the match and then he got pinned," and Daniel Bryan can't sit there and say, "Well, I deserve a title match, but Edge got pinned. You both got pinned."
Well,
So
his whole argument though is the fact that Daniel Bryan's there in the first place, which is kind of stupid because he's the reason he's there. But go ahead.
so then they can feud with each other, and then whoever gets out of that feud can then face Roman at SummerSlam. But for right now, I don't want to see one of these guys facing Roman at Backlash.
I think that pin to Roman, and I guess what the writers want fans was that he's putting it into not necessarily the chapter, but the book between both Bryan and Edge as a triple threat. Like, look, I'm putting these two faces over as a heel, and this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to disrespect both of them by putting one on top of the other, laying on top of Edge to pin both of them. That way, there is no doubt that he won that match. It was, hey, you didn't pin me. Hey, I was on the outside of the apron. Hey, you didn't do whatever. No, you can't say that.
Okay.
Like, he won the match, like, undoubtedly.
So nobody sees this culminating in a Hell in a Cell but me.
A Hell in a Cell between who?
Edge and Roman.
No. Why?
Well, let's not also forget there was constant interference by one Uso, the
Which,
Andre the Giant Battle Royal winner.
which, by the way, before the match started, I'm telling Avi, I'm like, yo, Avi, we're trying to forecast the ending. I thought Jimmy would come back and cost Roman the championship. And I see a slick haired guy with black shirt and black pants come on. I'm like, it's Jimmy, but no, it's Jay. And I kind of got upset. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, sorry, you're right. We have a lot of interference. But I don't know about a Hell in a Cell match. No. You mean Hell in a Cell to keep him out?
Yeah, Hell in a Cell, 1-on-1 with him and Edge, everybody else out. This is after the feud with that everybody's pretty much agreeing on between Daniel Bryan and Edge. If Edge stays, I don't know what Edge is doing, but if that happens, this is where it culminates SummerSlam.
So you're doing promo for Edge and Bryan at Backlash WrestleMania. The winner of that faces Roman and Cell on the next pay-per-view. I have Money in the Bank, I believe it is.
Well, I'm stretching it to SummerSlam, but yeah, long story short, yeah.
Okay.
If I'm to do some long term booking here, that's where I would take it.
I think that would fit, just because I don't see anyone else on SmackDown who, besides maybe Seth Rollins or Cesaro, who's in a position to challenge Roman right now.
And Seth Rollins, like he's got some unfinished business that he could probably work out by SummerSlam, but he can be in position to be next at SummerSlam by facing, I don't know, maybe Daniel Bryan. But you know, those things can work themselves out. But I'm just giving you the main picture here. You can build everything else around it.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, a lot of these questions are going to get answered on Friday because we don't know, who's doing what. But I mean, I wouldn't be mad if it was Daniel Bryan and Edge, but oh my bad. But if it's Edge and Roman in the Hell in a Cell, and y'all heart of hearts, you think he's going over?
If it makes it that long, if Edge is still there for a Hell in a Cell match to face Edge and Roman, regardless of what pay-per-view it is, then I would say he might go over.
Because that's what it's for. There's no way that if Roman and Edge are gonna fight, there's no way that Edge doesn't walk out champion. Because that's what it's for. It's gotta be. If you're doing this.
I would imagine.
I can't see Edge beating Roman Reigns. Can't see it.
Well, let's not forget. I mean, I don't think Edge put it on display in this match. He What does he got? He got a couple submissions up his sleeve as well. I mean, I don't know why everybody does the crossface. I guess it's just an easy move to put on, but he can probably pull it off. This is the same guy that went toe to toe with Undertaker, so let's not take too much away from him here.
Drew,
in a much better state that when Roman went with Undertaker.
I can see your point there. Drew, you think Edge can have a match 1-on-1?
Who Edge? Yeah, Edge can have a match 1-on-1. Will it be an exciting match? I don't know. We saw what he could do with Randy Orton, but we also know Randy Orton isn't the most exciting wrestler in the world. I think that if he wrestles Roman, it's going to be more of a physical match. It's not going to be a, speedy, high flying match. It's going to be hard hitting because that's how Roman fights.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, I don't know. Edge looked decent. Daniel Bryan looked okay, but you could hide a lot in the triple threat match. And I probably think that's what they were doing. Now, if this is not going to happen at all, and Roman's moving on to somebody completely different, there's a lot of contenders for the SmackDown #1 contender. Don't know who that's going to be. I mean, honestly, there has to be somebody if we're talking about Daniel Bryan and Edge having their own program.
I literally think it's as simple as this: if Edge is still there the night after and plan to be at the next pay-per-view, whatever, then I think it's going to happen. If he's gone, take a break, whatever you want to call it, then yeah, we'll go with the other theory that he has to find somebody else.
All right, well, we'll see. All right, that was WrestleMania 37. We previewed it inside, upside, downside, and out here at the No Pyro Podcast. Do you guys want to break this up before we get to AEW and get our shovels out?
Sure.
Roll around the mud real quick.
Sure.
All right.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
You can start it off.
All right. So a couple matches on WrestleMania, one being the main event triple threat, the other being the Orton Fiend match, were actually had their finishes changed hours before the show. So apparently the initial thought going into WrestleMania as far as Saturday was Edge walking out as world champion. And the Fiend getting the win over Randy Orton. That changed hours before the show on Sunday.
You gotta love it.
Mm.
Do you have anything, or do you want me to go again?
WWE recently filed for trademark on Commander Aziz. That is going to be the new gimmick name for Dabba-Kato. The
And
man who
Zari?
interfered in the Big E and Apollo Crews match.
Damian Priest. So you may have noticed, and we talked about it. Bad Bunny was in the ring a long time during that tag team match. The main reason Damian Priest is actually dealing with a back injury. Apparently, the injury was so severe that the initial thought was Bad Bunny against Miz in a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. This changed when they realized Damian Priest was good to go, but he was still injured. He was cleared, but still banged up. So that's why not only was Bad Bunny in the ring for most of it, but also you weren't getting as much of Damian Priest as you normally see in his matches.
Mm.
What I tell you, man, fall by the wayside.
Goldberg was originally in the WrestleMania 37 plans, but that changed in February. So they decided to leave him out. Goldberg, a.k.a. the real Ace of Spades, because he is the ace in the hole for this company, boy. They slammed down Goldberg like he's the big joker, but he's just like the jack of clubs. Like, dude, you're not getting a book with a jack of clubs. I don't know what you thought. It's not a guarantee. Sticking them on their forehead and everything, man. I'm telling you. What you got next?
Longtime commentary duo Jean Brassard and Ray Rougeau, who are longtime French commentators for WWE as far back as WrestleMania 11, are no longer with the company. This is due to some reshuffling with Peacock. It looks like there's a restructuring where either Peacock has their own like French translating services, or right now they don't even have a French service. Because of that, they're not using French commentators. So those two who have worked with the company since 1995 are gone from the company. But they were able to fly in Logan Paul on a private plane. So
flew out.
Would you like to guess?
I'm out of dirt.
Okay. Would you like to guess which wrestler from Night 2 apparently is expected to get a big push in the next coming week, in the next coming months?
Night two.
Apollo Crews.
There you go. Apparently, Vince is super high on him after his match at WrestleMania, to the point where he is expected to get a big push in the next coming months. That's all I had.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Did you guys see Jericho at all on the Steve Austin show on Peacock?
I did not, but I did want to catch it. I didn't watch it though.
It's definitely a good watch. I watched it today. I was pretty shocked at how much he was able to talk about AEW.
Yeah, no, I missed it. I am gonna watch it, though.
I would recommend going back and watching it. I'm not gonna really give anything away except for that. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. You definitely tell that there was really no restrictions on what they could talk about.
Unfiltered, unscripted, unrehearsed, raw.
Jesus Christ. You joining in AEW now?
Please.
All right. So this was not as good as WrestleMania. And also, they lost the last ratings war of the Wednesday Night Wars as NXT is moving to Tuesday night starting this week. NXT TakeOver did defeat Dynamite in the ratings. They did not beat them in the major demographic of 18 to 35, but they did beat them overall. So, good job there. We start off with Hangman Page taking on Max Caster, who wrapped his way to the ring. Hangman essentially led this match the entire time, and he got the win. So he is still working his way up the ladder of contention, and it looks like he's going to be probably challenging for the world title soon. After that, we get Tony Schiavone introducing. Are you ready for it? Are you ready? Death Triangle. So he brings out Death Triangle, who does their promo. Before they can get too far in, Best Friends come out and remind them that Best Friends are back, and that they are going to be a problem for Death Triangle. So it looks like that's going to be the next feud. It also is good news because it looks like Best Friends are done feuding with Miro and yeah, I forgot the dude's name. That's how fucking forgettable he is. Kip Sabian. Next up, we have a promo from the Inner Circle. Inner Circle comes out. Jericho's on the microphone. Santana Ortiz, Jake Hager, and Sammy Guevara standing menacingly behind him. Chris Jericho dresses down the Pinnacle, criticize MJF for his scarf wearing spray tan. He says he has a clipboard backstage if he wants to keep on trying to steal Jericho's materials. He called him a youngster and a mark. Then he said Tully Blanchard is a third string horseman. He said FTR are totally interchangeable, and that nobody even knows their real names. And Sean Spears is just there. After that, he challenged the Pinnacle to a blood and guts match. So, as I called it, we are doing the war games between these two factions. Next up, I don't know if you're aware, but AEW is sponsored by Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh, God.
And that's because we have Godzilla versus Kong match. Jurassic Express versus Bear Country. Because as we all know, King Kong is a fucking bear. Yes. So, Jurassic Express gets the win in a match that I constantly say nobody wants to see again. It was ugly as fuck. I believe Jim Ross called it bowling shoe ugly at one point. So
that's one of his favorite sayings.
It is. Right next to. Does she make biscuits?
That one in some Big Show's hands are the size of a honey baked ham. And I remember that one from a video game.
But now,
favorite Jim Ross line is "Educated feet of RVD," one with the Harvard, other with the Yale.
Now, when I mentioned Tony Schiavone before, I know what you were expecting. You were expecting me to say that he was interviewing Sting. But he's not. Because Sting is not there. You see, Sting decided, okay, I show up to Dynamite a lot. I need nourishment. And for that, I need to go to Denny's. I need to look down the menu. I need to grab some ham and some eggs. Because we have TNT Championship time. And it's Darby Allin versus JD Drake. And I don't know about you, but this is the first time I'm ever fucking seeing JD Drake. So
it was a good ass match.
It was decent.
It was okay. Yeah, it was okay. It was good. I'm overselling.
Until Sting had to make the save.
Well, dude, Sting is the father of Darby Allin, so what do you expect? You gotta save your boy when he's in the fray.
Yeah, so after the match, Matt Hardy's group came out and started attacking him.
Correction, Money Matt Hardy. Isn't that his name now?
It's something like that, yeah. The Hardy family office. That's what they call themselves, apparently. Threatened to put him through a table before the Sting made the save. So now this is the group that's afraid of the 60-year-old man. Now we go from one old man to another. As the Pinnacle's backstage beating the shit out of Chris Jericho. They beat him all the way to the ring. Heels are whooping his ass. Alex Marvez reveals that the Inner Circle has been locked inside their dressing room, so they cannot assist. So Wardlow is about to powerbomb Jericho through a table, and that is the international sign that a 60-year-old man needs to make a save. And that's when we get Iron Mike fucking Tyson.
Oh my god.
Or as he refers to himself as Mike Tyson, comes out and makes a save, unloading jabs on Shawn Spears because he's the guy who takes the bumps. Finally, the Inner Circle hits the ring to stand tall with Mike Tyson, who him and Chris Jericho had apparently resolved their differences with since the last time he was on Dynamite. But yeah, that's Mike Tyson's contribution to Dynamite. Honestly, it was decent. I would have enjoyed it more if we didn't know he was going to be there. But like I said last time, TNT does not want them to do any surprises. They want those ratings.
Did you notice how weird the interaction looked between Tyson and Jericho after he made the save?
Yeah, because Tyson's probably high off his ass.
It looked weird. It looked like Jericho was going to cross him, but then Jericho, I guess, is a face now. It looked kind of weird.
Never forget, my favorite piece of Mike Tyson language or Mike Tyson interview work was after one of his fights. Mike, what happened over there? I broke my back. What part of your back? Spinal. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So next up, we go to a bakery because we're getting cakes. We have Ty Conti taking on Ty Conti taking on the Bunny. A one-on-one match. These two go right at it right away.
Not the way I hoped.
This match ends with Conti seizing the opportunity, delivering a superplex, holding on, and transitioning into a hammerlock DDT for the victory. Apparently, that's her finisher name. Yeah, it works. Okay.
Wrestling for Tay, baby.
It was okay match, but they're hyping up this feud between the two groups that nobody really cares too much for, and the kids there. It's the kids shouldn't be watching this.
They're hyping up the cakes, man.
Yeah, it's the cake show. You've heard the gun show. It's the cake show. Main event of the night, we got a six-man tag. Jon Moxley and the Young Bucks taking on Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. This match started getting all over the place. Don Callis, of course, on commentary, talking his shit. Eddie Kingston at one point made his way out with his broken foot. The Young Bucks spilled over the top rope with Anderson and Gallows. Good Brothers then wiped out Eddie Kingston off the stage. Moxley went for the paradigm shift. However, the Young Bucks turned on him, hit him with a super kick. Good Brothers dragged Kenny Omega over his body for the pin. After the match, the Young Bucks once again kicked Moxley and embraced Omega and the Good Brothers, and that closed out the show. Interestingly enough, right after this, I think the next day, the Young Bucks had to inform fans to please stop sending them hateful messages on Twitter, or else they would have to delete their accounts, obviously showing that they know how to be heels. If this was MJF, he would just be insulting their mother's choice and not getting an abortion. But, apparently the Young Bucks just can't take that heat.
They did not want to super kick old boy. So they had to pay for it. I mean, look, you wrestle to win. A great coach once said you play to win the game. And they didn't want to win. They put friendship over their profession. And they got their ass kicked because of it.
Well, they rejoined Omega.
When?
I just told you at the end of this match. They turned on Moxley.
No, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm tripping. You're right. Yeah, you're right. They didn't want to do it to they didn't want to Omega. So Moxley was like, "Yo, what are you doing?"
Did you want to go on to Raw then?
Let me say, yeah, let's go to Raw.
We don't really have to do SmackDown today because SmackDown was prior to WrestleMania.
No, we're good with that. Although I will say about SmackDown, if you missed it, Roman Reigns cut a Triple H promo before Mania.
So here's the thing about that. So all three of them cut promos, and Daniel Bryan is trash on the fucking mic. Okay, let me just say that I'm gonna fucking cut a hot take, and I don't give a fuck. Okay, Daniel Bryan is trash on that mic. This is a WrestleMania go home show. Daniel Bryan cuts, I really want this match, and I'm really fighting for this. And then Edge gets that fucking lights dim, spotlight on me, just this seething promo where he is just whispering his fucking promo, and you can tell he is just, I should be in this spot. This is my spot that you took from me 10 years ago today. I was champion, and I had to relinquish that belt, not because I lost it, because my body gave up on me, and I got a second chance, and you're here. Oh, man. Edge cut that great promo, and then Roman came out. He cut that Triple H promo, and it's like, one of these things is not like the others.
I think that's that first song time we got from Drew.
And this was, of course, by the way, after Jey Uso won the Andre Giant Battle Royal, which, by the way, telegraphed this shit perfectly. Thank you, WWE. So we get, the whole thing with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn doing their thing. And then we see Ricochet lead out all the fucking jobbers to the ring. pointing at the ring, going, "Oh yeah, it's our time." And then Nakamura gets an entrance. Baron Corbin gets an entrance. Jay Uso gets an entrance. Guess who's the last three in this battle royal? The three people who got music. Oh yeah, this was the breakfast buffet, Las Vegas style, where we're just serving ham and eggs.
Well, yeah. You know who one of those people who were serving one of those ham and eggs?
Hey, I know where you're going with this. You stop it right now. He is helping develop young talent.
Listen, it's 9:37, and I see about 25 wrestlers in the ring. And you know who one of them was?
He doesn't have entrance music, sir, because he plays it himself.
No entrance.
Wow.
He is literally just in there, no shirt and a pair of jeans.
There's no crowd. He can't play from. He doesn't have his own entrance music. It's not Elias's fault.
Listen,
it's also not Snitsky's fault.
When I seen him in the ring, I said, I got one person I need to talk to. And I'm going to talk to him on Tuesday.
Elias did last quite long. Longer than all four members of the Hurt Business.
So I thought you were going to flip it on me. Because if you remember at Mania, during the Shane and Strowman match, Elias and Riker came out and helped. So I thought you were going to say, well, look, I understand he was in the Battle Royal, but look, he was with Shane.
Yeah, but being involved in that match, that's not a come up.
Okay.
That's not a come up. I don't even want to. I mean, he was part of John Cena's feud. Let's try that. I'm in real bad denial right here. Okay, but Jey Uso got the Andre Giant trophy that gets less and less gold every year, and then Roman cut his promo. Everything I touch turns to gold. Dude, everything I touch.
Loved it, and then he put a cap in a bow in it by coming out Mania with the gold glove or the gold hand plate. Dude, I fucking loved it.
Jay, look at that over there. Points at the trophy. That's gold. That's gold you got. That's gold because of me. Like, oh my God. Oh, I'm watching this going, ooh. I love this Roman.
Yeah. I don't even want to admit it. I hate to.
I love the fact that, yes, he needed the talking piece. He needed somebody to be his talking piece. But once Paul gave him like a confidence and kind of taught him how to cut a great promo, now Paul's just in the background. Now it's Roman's show.
He didn't even say shit. He alluded to, what do you call that, Paul? It's not a prediction, it's a spoiler.
Yeah.
He said that.
I fucking love that shit.
Yeah, man.
A spoiler.
Yeah. He cut a Triple H promo for WrestleMania. Wow.
Now let's get on to some real good shit.
Yeah. I'm just going to come out and say it. Maybe I'm overhyping it or over-exaggerating. This is the worst post-WrestleMania Raw I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know if it's the hangover because we just saw 2 nights of live attendance, and then we go right back to the Thunderdome, whatever. Maybe that does it, or maybe it is just Raw, but it was a bad.
It could have had. They knew not to have fans there, dude, because they would have got booed out the building. It was terrible. I mean, from how you start the show with Lashley and MVP coming in, him knocking his shit out of Matt Riddle, which I thought, okay, that's done. Wrong. You have a meaningless bullshit match in the beginning with Riddle and Lashley. which I don't even know what the fuck it meant. Like, so before I was watching this, I had confidence of two spoilers. One of them was Samoa Joe. I thought Samoa Joe would be coming back. So I'm watching this match with Riddle, like, yo, Samoa Joe's about to come out and hit him. Wrong. I mean, Swerve, do you know why they had that match?
No,
No.
I don't have a other than Matt Riddle maybe pissing somebody off in the back. I can't think of a reason why he had that match.
Like, there was no surprise interruption. No one came out. I mean, there was no like stretcher after he whooped the hell out of him. I just didn't get it. So after that match, it was. I'm trying to think because I'm still watching at this point. I gotta think.
So after this match, we had the Viking Raiders taking on Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin.
Okay, so they came back.
Which,
So,
by the way, we're talking about they came back, even though I'm pretty sure one of them was in the Jobber Battle Royal on Friday.
oh, okay. I didn't know that one of them was in it. But they beat Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, which got a jobber entrance.
Ah,
So goodbye to them. After that, it was Charlotte cutting her promo where she's saying everybody else wouldn't be nothing without her, or if it wasn't for her. I wasn't mad at that totally, but
She name dropped all of the top women wrestlers
except
except for two.
okay, all right. I thought I was the one who caught that. Who were the two?
Bailey and Becky.
Yep. So she didn't drop Becky. So I'm like, yo, Becky's coming out. Nope. Nothing. So then we had
also,
Asuka.
can we also talk about the fact that that new commentator was getting real fucking thirsty for her?
Yeah,
Like
my boy. And then
uncomfortably?
yeah.
For
But you know
Charlotte?
what?
Yeah.
He wasn't terrible, but he just sounded kind of out of place. Yeah, it'll build. But he didn't
You
mess
got
up anybody's name.
you got to watch some more Jerry Lawler tapes, I guess. Is
Yeah,
what we're
pretty
saying.
much. But dude, he didn't mess up anybody's name. He got the match types right. He was going. I'm not mad, but it's got to pick up. Asuka and Rhea Ripley ended in no contest after Charlotte came out. Got Ripley with a DDT on the ring post. Charlotte shoved Asuka into Ripley. So Ripley retained the championship. Triple threat vibes. Maybe. We'll
So
see.
so this is what I was referring to when I said, well, Ripley should have came out, dominated Asuka, and blah blah blah. But they didn't do that. They just had a regular standard match where she won. But I said, well, damn, I'm thinking they're gonna give her the HBIC title over there on Raw, where she still don't have it. She just got the championship, but she don't have that title. It still belongs to Charlotte, and they
Yeah.
let you know right there.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much.
She treated them like they was Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose out there.
Alexa Bliss cuts a backstage promo on Alexa Playground. She told the story about how she was rescued by the Fiend when she was lost, and it protected her, but then left her for a bit of time. Then alluded to the fact that she may never needed the Fiend in the first place. Bliss also revealed that she unlocked something truly evil and introduced everyone to Lily, which is the new doll. And this is something that they were talking about earlier, which I'll still send to you in the group chat. Um, I don't know what's going on with that, because then after that, Bray Wyatt returned to the Firefly Funhouse and said that he was happy to be back with his true friends. And he said that he also feels reborn. So
Basically saying you can't turn a hoe to a housewife.
pretty much. Damian Priest, the fallout with him, Bad Bunny versus Miz and John Morrison. That's
DP.
still reared its ugly head, as Maurice was there, and they were there for the Miz and Maurice show to preview that. And thanks to Maurice, Miz and John Morrison in a handicap match beat Damian Priest via pinfall. Miz got the skull crushing finale on him.
Yeah, I say Maurice looks pretty good, man. Miz did all right.
Yeah, she do. Yeah, Miz definitely did good. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax beat Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose in the count out. I didn't watch this because I was done.
So I seen this. So the whole deal was because Mandy Rose slipped on at WrestleMania, Shayna Baszler and uh,
Oh yeah, Nia
Nia
Jax.
Jax was backstage watching clips of her fall, right? She got in her face during that interaction and said something about you never see it coming, and she slapped her. And then she pushed Nia Jax to get some stuff. So later on, they had a match. Nia, Nia Jax had these, I think it was 2 spots where she was fake slipping, and it was just didn't look like it was legit at all. So each time she slipped, Nia Jax got more pissed. So rather than, the faces in this, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, face them and try to beat them, they just decided to back away. Like, no, you're pissed, man. It's cool. It's not that serious. And they just took a count out loss against the champions. I said, this makes no sense. And they celebrated, no, not them, but like the announcers, because at that point there's no match going on. So I'm listening to what they're saying, and they're treated like it's a victory for them. So I didn't get that whole thing, but that's what happened.
I mean, whatever. Dude, I'm totally uninterested with this product right now. I was saying that this was one of the better manias they had, and they just come out with this bullshit. I am over it. You talk about going from 10 to a 2. This is it. Moving on. New Day defeated Elias and Jackson Riker. Xavier Woods got the pin. Tells you all you need to know. I don't know, man. I just at a loss. And then after that was the main event, where I guess Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, and Randy Orton said they all should be the number 1 contender, take on Lashley for the belt. I had a triple threat match, and the man who came out unscathed against the Fiend got the victory. So Randy Orton and Bobby Lashley will be at WrestleMania Backlash.
Wait, what?
Oh no, I'm tripping. Good catch. Randy Orton lost.
I mean, I know we all tired, but wait a minute.
Did Randy got pinned? No.
Yes.
Randy got pinned against Drew pinned him.
So Orton hit Strowman with the RKO as he was about to pin him. He got hit with the Claymore, and
You're right.
McIntyre sealed the win.
You're right. Okay. Yeah. So McIntyre and Lashley will do battle yet again at the WrestleMania Backlash, But don't forget the most important part of this match. Oh, that's right. The name that you can find in the adult section of an online dictionary. They ended up popping up. Mason T-Bar came out after the match and hit McIntyre with what, like a double spine buster, I guess.
Oh, it was
So
corny, man. A double sit down choke slam, I think.
Yeah,
It was corny though.
yeah.
so basically, Lashley, who decided to kick out Alexander and Benjamin from the Hurt Business because he only wants to be surrounded again by stars and primetime players. Um, Apparently, has recruited two guys who look like they were tasked with cosplaying Slipknot using only the items found in this room.
Is it a safe assumption though, because MVP was standing there, that they are working together? Because I mean, Corbin interfered too, and they didn't talk next week.
Why else are they attacking McIntyre though?
Corbin interfered last week, and they didn't talk the week after. That's all I'm saying. People could just hate Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, well, I mean, I hate Retribution. I don't see anyone attacking them.
Yeah, I don't know.
What I'm saying is, if you see them coming out to the ring in suits but still the masks next week, I'm going to say it. Total Mac is all elite. Am I wrong? They come out next week. Lashley, MVP, T-Bar, and Mace in suits, but they're still wearing those fucking masks.
Fuck it. Total Mac is elite right now. I am all elite. I'm in. I've had enough. I'm tired of scratching and clawing my way into good programming on Monday nights. I am all elite when it comes to Wednesday and Monday. But now I see I'm going to have to start watching Friday. Because Friday is the primary show. If I had to rank the shows throughout the week, including NXT, number 1 is going to be SmackDown. I'll put number 2 at Dynamite. 3 will be NXT. 4 will be Raw. And I don't care what falls after Raw. Maybe the YouTube show from AEW.
Fuck, at this point, NWA Power might be ahead of Raw.
Dude,
Listen,
I'm done with Raw, yo. I'm done.
Mac, I hate to break it to you, but you can't be all elite if you're only partial elite. I mean, the word "all" is right in the beginning.
This is my version, man. You can't tell me how to do that.
Well, to be
Nah.
fair, SmackDown is the elite show on WWE. So all Mac is doing right now is he's just using the Forbidden Door.
Well, look, I mean, I could be truly in the inner circle and at the pinnacle of the wrestling game by the Friday. I just need to see what they're doing Friday. I need to see if they're treating SmackDown like they would normally treat the Monday after a WrestleMania.
If they come out on Friday and they say, hey, for WrestleMania Backlash, we're doing rematches of every single thing that was on WrestleMania.
I will literally take a plunger, put it to the wall, bend over, and have a good time with myself. Because that's what I'm doing.
Dude, all you have to do is just watch on Wednesdays. Like, you don't have to do that.
Listen, now I've been watching the past 2 weeks of AEW. I've been getting jobbers' names in my head. I've been watching Kip Sabian. I watched Miro put somebody in the I don't know what he's calling a move now, but I watched it on the YouTube show. I've been watching the YouTube show a lot. I've been seeing the Renegades. I've been watching stuff, man. I've been there. I love what you're doing with Pinnacle and Inner Circle. I love the Omega and that Don Callis. He's growing on me. I think he's a prick, but at least as Kanye West once said, if you feel a way about Ye, at least you feel something. I could not know who you are and not feel any way about you. That's worse. At least I have an opinion. But SmackDown is going to be the tell-all. Best wrestler across the board is Roman Reigns. Never thought I would say that. He's big money. Now, the important thing I need to say before we end the show is that this is tentative, okay? Because all cards are subject to change. And don't you ever forget it.
Before we end the show, actually, I think Avi said he sent an email.
Okay.
Let me pull it up. Okay.
There's a truck across the street getting towed, and it's probably been a half hour. It doesn't take that long.
Okay, so this is from Abby. Got to admit, WrestleMania wasn't bad. 2 days was stretching it. Overall, I give the show a B+. Nothing made me want to give up AEW for this. Come on, Mac. Join the Dark Order. Highlights. Bad Bunny's performance. Bobby retaining. Bianca winning in an epic battle. The weather delay causing unscripted promos. Roman talking shit to the fans before powerbombing Daniel Bryan through a table. Big E, Sasha, and Edge's ring gear were top-notch. Lowlights. Women's tag matches filled an entire episode of Botchmania. Braun and Shane was a snooze fest. The annoying Bailey spots. What the fuck was the ending of the Orton and Fiend? The live band for Rey's entrance was pretty bad. That's all I got from Abby. Yeah, Bailey's a little bit over the top. We didn't need her. Also, okay, so this is one thing we forgot to talk about with WrestleMania. Bailey being interrupted by the Bella Twins.
I didn't
Nothing
forget
is a
that.
fart in church more than realizing we're not getting Becky Lynch. Because that would have been perfect spot to have her come out.
Yeah. We all thought that.
Mm.
I don't know if you didn't hear, but John Cena's not here. Clock.
I did like that. That was pretty sweet. But then I found out that she glowingly talked about Mr. Cena at the Hall of Fame induction, so I said, oh, that didn't mean much. I like it when the quips sting just a little bit.
I mean, it would probably sting a little bit more if she was like single. But I mean, she's married with a kid. Like, I don't think she gives a fuck about saying that anymore.
Yeah.
Depends if his money is long as that.
Yeah, I mean, if Cena becomes a billionaire like Rock, maybe.
Yeah.
Did you guys have anything else?
Nope, time for me to go to bed.
No, I don't think I had anything else
Then
for
play
this
us
evening. Drew, are you good?
Yeah, play us out.
All right, folks. You got us in your earlobe for a lot of hours. You can listen to us. We give you the real deal Holyfield when it comes to breaking down Mania, Raw, SmackDown, AEW, and everything else in between. And I am all elite now. So this is a new Mac.
This means JR is going to fuck up your name every week.
For now. But I still will be keeping my eye and ear open on the US of A, Channel 55 in the hood. For Swervy Lee and for No Chill Drew, my name is Total Mac. We are out this thing. Y'all have a good night, a good week, and we'll see you later. Until then, deuces.